another fun wreath making live tonight. I'm going to try to find your comments here on Facebook. If you guys are watching over on YouTube, we'll get your comments. Nicole will let me know, and I will definitely respond to them live too here. I'm waiting for him to come up. How's everybody doing this evening? I hope you're having a great night. There we are. I found you finally. Yay! Yay! Okay, good. We're ready to rock and roll. Hey, Kathy, good to see you. Hey, Mary and Christy. Great. I'm glad you're here tonight. We're going to have some fun now. Woo! Hey, Pat. Hopefully we're rocking and rolling with this video. Y'all, tonight we're going to be making a fun wildflower wreath all in pinks because I love pink for spring. So we're going to have a blast with that. I just want to remind you, it is the last day to join design school up until the fall. So if you want to get in, now is the day you have to get in today. The deadline's tonight at midnight Central Time, so jump on in. We'll put a link here in the comments in just a second where you can sign up. Hey, Casey. Hi, Pam. Hey, Ann. So we're going to be using a smaller wreath base tonight. This is a 14-incher, a little guy. And these are easy peasy to work with. I'm going to go ahead and pop a hanger on there. You guys, and you might notice our gorgeous magnolia wreath up here in the corner. We just did that in design school. Turned out amazing. So if you're new to design school and you didn't have time to join us live, it's in the Facebook group. We finished it out. And what we did is we built the design from a foundation up. And the foundation techniques are in our private portal for our design school members. And then the additional build of foundation is in the private Facebook group. So we did something a little bit different tonight, and I think it worked out really great. Everyone seemed to love it. And you guys can catch that. Hey, Joellen. Hey, Debbie. Hey, Sue. How's it going tonight? I got my hanger on. We're ready to rock and roll. So I'm not sure what bow we're using. You guys can help me choose in a little bit. We may use this green and pink, or we may use the pink and yellow, but we're going to have all these colors in our design. So, oh, nice. Kelly says, if you're on the fence about KDS, it's so worth the money. I love it. Thank you so much, Kelly. Hi, Quincy. Good to see you. So let's get started. Tonight, we're going to be using, instead of just a traditional greenery to start with, we're going to work with a wildflower. So a wildflower means it's got like little smaller flower heads, like you would see out wild growing on the side of the road in springtime. So this is what I call a wildflower. It's got a nice greenery, and it's got a little mini daisy. Super cute. Hey, Pat. Hey, Tonette. Good to see you. Hey, Teresa. It's a 3 for today. Total 3 for. I didn't even have time to change shirts. Like, it's going to look like the same video. That's okay. Sometimes I change shirts so that way when you see the replays here on Facebook, you know what's going on. I lost my wire cutters, y'all. Here they are. Yay, Leanne! Hey, Holly! Y'all, we just had so much. This was our first class, really, with most of the new students, and it was so exciting to see them get excited and feel like they could rock and roll. So I don't want you to miss out on joining if you want to come and be in our group. We have so many perks available for you, but the one thing we're super proud of is our website that we have for design school members so that they never get left out of anything. We communicate on there. We've got replays of all the recorded content, but we also include replays of anything that's put out on any social media. So they never have to search to find anything. And then best of all, they get to be taught step by step how to make things like real teacher style. I get a real teacher. So I'm not just a designer up here making it. I really show you how to do it so you can do it on your own. Tammy says, I love design school. Y'all won't go wrong by joining. Oh, thanks, Tammy. Fantastic. I'm glad you think that. So I got my first piece in. I'm going to pop in a little moss. And I'm having to shake hands with these and really spread them out. Hey, Carla. Good to see you tonight. I hope everything's going good in your neck of the woods. Maybe is it warming up a little? I hope so. Hey, Beverly. Yeah, Beverly enjoyed KDS the first night. Fantastic. Good. I really try to make myself available for you guys on Tuesday nights so we can really work on whatever it is you need to work on with your designs. And, you can ask questions real time with me while I'm teaching. So that whatever you're afraid of or concerned about, we can address so you can, you know, get the win of creating your first wreath. Marina says, it's amazing. You need to join. Trust me. I love it. Marina's brand new. I'm so glad you like it. I'm so glad you're loving it. Fantastic, guys. Carla, it's 50. It's almost tropical, right? Iowa, right, Carla? Man, well, you know, 50's not bad, right? It was really like what they call Chamber of Commerce weather here today in Houston, guys. Like it was like 72 and the humidity was low, and it's all about the humidity in Texas. Good. Pat says she just joined class. She loves the way the videos are set up, easy to understand and follow. Perfect, Pat. That is what we want. That's what I aim for. I'm trying to take you from a beginner to making your first wreath, and then, you know, from somebody who's more experienced designing to how to take your wreaths to the next level. And that's what we did on our very first class tonight. So it was a little challenging to meet all the different levels in class, but I think we did it. I think we nailed it with a home run. So we're going to continue to grow and help you guys out. Melissa says, KDS is the best. You won't be disappointed. Khalid is the best teacher and makes it fun. Oh, yeah. If you guys just joined, you haven't even been to a party yet. Wait till you come to one of our private parties. We have so much fun. They're virtual parties, lots of giveaways, games. Y'all, Nicole is great at creating games we can play online that are fun and you can all interact. And I like to visualize you guys running around your houses to participate in the games. It's hilarious. Right, Marina? It was 47. Get out the shorts, right? Hey, that's what we're talking about. So sometimes, guys, when you're out shopping for your supplies, you look for something like this. This is a perfect kind of bush. It's got greenery, it's got berries. It can go with so many colors. So this type of thing is a great investment because you're not locked down to one color palette. It can just mix and match, and you can go to town. So we're making my favorite style of wreath to make, which is our C shape. We're making a C here. Honey Bunny always says, hey, why is the side of the wreath open? But in this design, that's how it's going to be. It's going to be open. Guys, if you have questions about class or any other questions, you can ask while I'm live here with you. Melissa, right? Oh, is it 60919? It's not. It's a different stem. It kind of has a similar texture to 60911 where it has a lot of greenery and berry. It's a little different. Christine says, if a flower's out of stock, are they restocked or we should move on to choose something else? So if it's out of stock on a supply list, it could be coming back in. We're always waiting for stuff to come back in. If on our website, we generally don't show things that are out of stock, but if you're looking at a supply list, you might see it that way. So I can't tell you when it'll be back in or if it's ever coming. It just depends on the product. So if you're looking at a supply list, you may have to move on. But we're always getting new things in every week. It's just waiting on supplies and all that has been a challenge, needless to say, the last few years. So I'm going to come bring the camera down just a little bit. And I popped that one in. I'm going to cover a little bit of that glue with moss. Carol went to her first class tonight. It was awesome. Yay, Carol! Carol, I hope I don't have an off week next week. You're gonna tell me. No. Awesome. Debbie just finished 7 wreaths for your booth tonight. Thanks for excellent coaching from Khalees Design School. What, Debbie? You're awesome. Yes. Good for you. I'm so excited. I hope your booth is looking nice and stocked. Okay, so those are in. Gorgeous texture. I got a little bit of pink, purple, yellow, and I've got, I put 5 pieces in to start with. We got one kind of held back. We'll get to it in a second. And let's start to put our main flowers in. So in this design, we're going to be using like a nice little cluster stem. Look how pretty this is. Just beautiful color palette here. It's got a multitude of colors, but it's already thought out for us, so it just mixes perfectly with all the different colors in that pick. Yeah, Angie, KDS students get 2 different discounts on supplies. You get discounts 10% off orders over 100, and you still get free shipping as long as the order stays over 100. And then you get 20% off orders over 250. So you'll get $200 worth of product $250 worth of product for $200. And you also get free shipping on those. So it's definitely worth it. If you are already shopping with us, anytime you, if you join our design school, you will get, anytime you do a big order like that, you will get more than your membership paid for that month. So it's kind of a no-brainer. Susan loves this pick. Isn't it beautiful? Oh. Kimmy says, please, awesome. You learn and have fun at the same time. And that is really a big deal to me. Having fun is really important. We know a lot of folks in our class are not there to be making money off their wreaths. They're there to be enjoying the process of creating and learning how to be designers and making pieces for themselves. And it's a fantastic escape for them from reality and all of the, things going on in the world or their personal lives. We've got folks who've gone through losses of spouses and loved ones, children, all of that kind of stuff. And they found the therapy and the relief through working with silk flowers and creating beautiful designs like this. So that is the norm for our group. And we love that. We love that we have people coming from every different direction of life. And the one thing we have in common is we love playing with flowers. Oh, nice, Deb. Me too. Aren't they gorgeous? Pam just got an electric skillet. What setting do I put it on? Pam, you're going to have to play with it. So you want it to be kind of like, I don't know if you can see this, Pam, but it's kind of like a little bit thicker honey. And you're going to find a setting that doesn't string. So mine currently is at 325. That varies to your electric skillet and to what the temperature in the room is. So play with it, okay? Totally play with it till you find what works for you. Thanks, Lisa. Awesome, Deb. Great. Good, good, good. Hey, Melinda. Thank you for the love. Thank you. Y'all, this is my third live. Wait, 1, 2, 4th live today. Woohoo! I need to get your good vibes. Y'all got to keep me going. Definitely have to keep me going here and keep the mojo flowing. All right, I'm going to kind of go up there into those other 2 pieces of greenery. See, when you see me spinning that around, I'm trying to keep that glue tail string from stringing. I'm going to push this in. These have a little bit of thicker. Oh, that looks great there. I'm going to bring you over. I love this little variegated little ivy piece. Ah, that's my toes curling right there. Okay, I'm coming in with my moss. I'm using the dark green Spanish moss tonight. I'm going to cover up that any glue so we don't see what's going on. I just got the biggest smell of chocolate. I don't know where that came from. Ever since I had COVID in December, I can smell that random smells hit my nose. And it's like, there's no big chocolate bar here, but I can smell. I wonder if I want some. Holly's working on one now with me. The ribbon pink roses. Nice. Okay. Should I use bigger flowers than I was going to use small roses? Holly, I probably just make the bow a little smaller. It might be easier if you've already got the supplies purchased. Just go a little bit smaller on the bow. Okay, guys, see how pretty? See how pretty those are mixing together? Oh, yummy. So yummy. Now we're going to use this piece kind of coming down and flowing into here. Karen, we do have some of these picks for sale. We'll send out the supply list tomorrow so you can grab them from our site. So make sure on the text list, you want to text us the word live to 832-734-5201. Just text us the word live, or you can also go to the website textkali.com to sign up. Awesome. Vicki says, if you're not sure about joining, take the leap. You'll learn so much and you're going to have fun. Yes, Vicki, we always have fun. This is the piece I'm talking about. Look at it's variegated. It's got this little, it looks so real. You guys see? Ah, so cute. Awesome. Oh, what am I dipping the stems in? This is hot glue. And instead of using a glue gun, like pull a trigger, we have hot glue and electric skillet. So that's what's going on there. All right, I'm still fluffing, guys. I hear my kid outside. Spring break's going on, and I hear my kid out there. They're talking. Maybe they're the one blowing a chocolate smell under the garage door to me. I hear them out there. Okay, so let's put that in. I'm going to go right in that section and have this fill in. and kind of have it mix in with the other picks. Get that flow going. Isn't that pretty? So easy. Ah, I get it. Thanks, Holly. You're so amazing. Thanks for being here. You guys, so we'd love to have you in our class. I wanted to do one more live tonight just to kind of remind you that today's the last day to join. So if you want to be able to make quick and easy projects, or even pieces like this that are a little more high level, tonight we took this wreath and we souped it up to another level. That's what I teach in the class. Not only do we do wreaths, but we do arrangements, centerpieces, swags, garlands, all of that. When you first join, you have access to the last 24 videos. And then after that, you will be able to, after 6 months, the whole portal opens up and you get access to over 215 videos. Aw, Jeanette says, I love Clee's Design School. She's the best teacher. She explains so everyone can understand more, no matter your level. Yes! Perfect. Thank you, Helen. Hey, Suzette. Teresa, yeah, 4 10-inch wreath base. Now let's pick our bow. I'm working off 2 bows I had. Now you guys can pick. I'm going to show you them one at a time. Here is yellow and pink. Really super bright, funky bow. Okay, that looks good in there. Okay, that's one choice. Number 2, we've got this one, which is it is a funky bow. It's made out of a higher end ribbon. So because of the cost of the ribbon, I kept it really simple. It's got 1 loop up and 1 loop down. So you guys tell me if you want we'll call this the butterfly bow. And this one will be the pink and yellow. You tell me which one you like. One's a little more simple, one's a little full. We'll put that bow in and we'll add a couple little finishing touch. You like the second bow? Yeah, you're probably a ribbon lover because that's a fancy ribbon. Pat likes the first one. Jeanette likes the second one. Let's see. Dawn's liking the second. Second one's in the lead right now. I'll let a few more people chime in, then we'll pick. I'm going to grab I got some tea from Chick-fil-A. Kimmy, you like the butterfly? Okay. Marina likes them both. Oh, Jennifer loves the colors of the wildflower. Both of them will work. Rhonda likes the butterfly. Okay. These blue merinos in here are got the bougie ribbon. That's what they like. I don't blame you. Let's put it in. Okay, this one's going to win. We're going to put the butterfly in, and I'm going to pop it in where the tails go to the inside and down. Okay, so think about your placement, and then we're going to go ahead and tie it in. Haley likes the high end. Of course you do, Sue. We got good taste. That's okay. And there's no right or wrong answer, guys. Everybody can make their wreath however they want. Okay, I'm going to tie that in there nice and tight. And then we had a little bit of the yellow berry picks left from our wreath we made earlier in the week with the lemons. Look how cute that is. I don't have it hanging on the hanger right now because it would be lower, but look how cute that is. All right. Earlier in design school class, we learned how amazing twigs are and how fun they are to add to your design. So we're going to put these in a second to kind of pop a little more of the yellow and have a few twiggies. I'm going to take my last piece of this greenery and we're going to tuck it right in below the bow. So you'll notice I hold a little piece off to do that. Thanks, Dawn. I appreciate it. Deb says, the variety of projects is off the charts. So much fun. I'm glad I joined KDS and found you love working with the flowers over the deco mesh. Fantastic, Deb. I love it. I'm going to cut this into a couple of pieces. Kimmy says you're not obligated to stay in design school, but you won't want to leave, right? Yeah, that's how we try to make it. So, Christine, do I sell grapevine wreaths? I don't. I get my grapevines from Deco Exchange. I just buy them all from Damon and Parker at Deco Exchange. As far as the bases. Okay, I'm going to come right up in here to fill this in just a little bit more here, tighter to the bow. I love that. And let's put a little bit up above. A little bit of a glue string there. I'm going to put this one right above. So just kind of reserve just a little bit for around. Tammy says her 6 months is about to come up and she's going to get access to the whole vault. Yes. So once you've been in design school 6 months, the whole vault opens and this magical, it's like design school and chill opens. Like you can dive in for weeks in there and go to town watching all the content. Or you can take your time and just take a little at a time, whatever. After you've been here 6 months, you're kind of gotten a little more comfortable with designing. Hopefully you've tried a few projects and you're ready to go to the next level. Look how cute it is. Oh, I bet this one sells quick. You've been in KDS, Lori, for a year? Nice, nice. How difficult is it to change your credit card after a month or two for the class? You just contact us if you need help to do that. We have it really easy for you in the portal, but we have customer service to help you with it if you can't find it. Okay? And our email is info@cleese.com, guys, for any help with that. All right, let's pop in a little bit of yellow and twiggies. We used those tonight in our class and really rocked it out on the magnolia wreaths. We're going to do that now, too. Thanks, Jeanette. This is super easy. Super easy. We rocked and rolled this one. I really try to carry products on Cleese.com that you can win with. You know, you might notice things that are password protected on our website, and that's because we are taking the extra step of password protecting supplies that we're using for our upcoming classes for our design school students. So if you see that, just know that's for our class. So if you're a member of the class, you can access the password and get in there and get what's being put aside for you. Haley, thanks. You guys are liking it? Suzette, what time are the classes? So the classes, you get a class every Monday that comes out recorded. And when you first join, you have 24 classes waiting for you. You can consume those anytime you want. They are all recorded step by step. The live classes are Tuesdays night. Everything is virtual. They're at 7:30 Central. They're live. All that's recorded also. So you can watch that anytime you want. That's done in a Facebook group. But we also have it uploaded to the membership. So if you don't want to ever be in the Facebook group, you can just watch that in the membership too. Okay? You guys are watching. Most of you guys are watching on Facebook, but I got some people on TikTok. I got some people on YouTube. So we have that available in the portal. So no matter where you are joining, wherever you enjoy watching us, you don't have to worry that there is recorded content with no chatting. And there's also chatting content each week, which is some of my favorite time because I get to get to know you better in our membership and get to think about you, get to pray for you during the hard times, get to celebrate your wins. And I think that is some of the funnest part of being in the membership is being in the Facebook group too. Hey, Lily, good to see you. Thank you for the recommendation, y'all. Lily just wrote a lovely comment. Thank you so much. And I'm going to come down and below, kind of coming around. And there's a little yellow berry in there, but that's pulling out this gorgeous little yellow butterfly on there. Just working perfectly. Yeah, Tammy, there's going to be a supply list for this wreath. Get texted out tomorrow. It gets texted out to design school first. They get first dibs. And then a couple hours later, we'll text it to everybody else on the list. Okay? Yes, ma'am. So you'll get it tomorrow, Tammy. I'm going to put the last piece in over here. So you don't have to put twigs in. They add a little bit more wispiness. And it's up to you whether you want to add the last touch here. But how fun is that? Yo, we just knocked it out of the park super, super quick. How cute. I'm glad. I love the bow you chose. This is great. Looks amazing. Look, look, look. How cute. Blueberry knows in this video, we are going to be working with this beautiful butterfly. It's part of the kit we're making. This particular project, the kit does not come with the wreath base because we are using a big one. You can always downsize it if you want to, but we are going to use a 24-inch grapevine in here. So really big. This is going to be our big showstopper. Excited about that. And here is our butterfly. So we're going to pull our colors from this. The only thing we're not going to do a whole lot with is the gold because we want this to be kind of just have that rustic, elegant touch. So we're going to pull out the blues, a little bit of a purpley pink, and then the nice bright pink that's in there, okay? So our greenery You're going to need 4 bushes of the fishtail because this is going to set our really great perimeter and give us that nice wildflower texture, which we're going for. This time we're also going to give the wildflower texture with a couple of bushes of twigs. So those really pull in the brown background. We're going to make that cohesive and pull that together, which looks really good in contrast to the touch of the elegance and the gold on our butterfly. Then we are going to bring in some beautifully beautiful pink hydrangeas. Beautiful. And this is a mini rose, which we're going to mix into. It has a little bit of a kind of a rustic, this is like a baby's breath that pulls in that creamy color. And then to hone in a little bit more of the wildflower, we're going to use a lavender because there's just a touch of lavender on the tips of those parts of the butterfly and a pink wildflower. The ribbons that we're going to go into here, we're using the pink and the pretty blue teal. And those two are going to go in there to make a beautiful bow. The first thing we're going to do is attach our butterfly. For our design, I'm going to put the butterfly kind of up here, kind of resting into the wreath slightly where there's not too much room between here. And in order to put her in, I'm just going to use some cable ties and go in down here where I can camouflage it easily. I'm kind of running it through the grapevine back through where it doesn't really show in the back too much. Let me just hold this with 2 hands. Let's bring her back up. All right, and let's get that tight in there. All right, and let's go back on the right side over here. And I'm going to put her in maybe about right there. Okay, so there's plenty of room for floral over here because I want that to really pop over. So the 2 of these should be adequate. We're able to attach them to the frame really tight. And then you just want to do that little test. Okay, she's good. She's not flopping. She's not going to hit the door underneath. Then I'm going to trim these off. And the first thing I'm going to do is cover those with some Spanish moss. So they're camouflaged. I got a little Spanish moss here. And let's do that now. A little bit of glue on that. And that way that'll just hide into the background. Okay, and just like that, our first layer in the background is ready. So now you're going to want to grab one of your twig bushes and 2 of your fishtail ferns, okay? And we're going to prep these both first. With the twig bushes, if you'll just untwist them, they're going to come out into 3 different stems. All right, and to prep these, what I do is I just take and tear these off. Now, this is actually really good wire. I like to save those for hangers on wreaths. So it may not be quite big enough for our wreath today. It might work fine, but I like to save those. They're good wires. Now, when you get done with these, you're going to line these up so they're about the same length, and I want you to trim all of those off. Okay, and you get a nice clean finish. That's what you need to be able to put that in the wreath. So you're going to prep 1 bush of these, which is basically 3 stems. We're going to use that in the background, okay? So we're going to prep 1 of those. And then we're going to prep 2 fishtail ferns to where we push them up just a little. We're still going to leave them long because this is a big piece. We need to extend the lines with this. So I'm going to cut these as long as they'll go so that they're pushed up a little, but they still have about a 2-inch stem. Trimming that off. And now these are ready to go. So what we're going to do is start with our greenery. Now our bow is going to sit kind of right down here in this zone right here. So, but you know that's going to be your transition. So if I start away from me, I'm going to start with 1 high, 1 low. So I'm going to take 1, and we're going to make these little clusters where 1's high is 1 low, and I'm going to trim that. Over here to the right. Now I'm going with the direction, and basically this is going to be kind of a C in an upward direction here. Okay, now I'm going to use triangle placement as I work my way down, so my next piece will come, it's basically zigzagging. My next piece will come in here and go out this way. Okay, and we're setting that whole background perimeter. So a tall and a short. Trim them down. Once they're trimmed, then you're going to hold it like a pencil. Get a good amount of glue, and this one's going to go zigzag to the inside. Right here. That's fine. Have a little cavern in the wreath there. See how it's breaking the plane of the butterfly? I love that. I want to do that. We don't want anything to be flat. We want it to be really just tucked in there. Okay. Now we'll come to the outside. One high, one low. A tall and a short. Let's go on that outside. Still following the same direction. And I'm kind of putting these in kind of the midline, a little bit outside of it, just a little bit. When I'm talking the midline, that's this section of the wreath. So I'm not way outside, I'm not way inside. All right. Let's put one more. We're coming back to the inside. It's a little tall and short here. There you go. I'm going to bend that one a little bit to get it to kind of C shape. And then we'll put one more on the outside over here. Remember, we're going to have more going on this right side than the left. There'll be less on the left. Okay, one tall, one short. Hold it like a pencil. I'm swirling it in my glue, and then we're zigzagging, so I'm still coming down here. This is a more of an open cavern here, so I'm going to go down a little bit lower. There we go. I'm going to use more moss. Anytime I'm going into like a little bit more open place, use that moss to help grab the glue and make it a sandwich in there. Okay, great. This is just the start of the background greenery, just kind of setting the perimeter. Now let's come in the inside here on this side. We're leaving about a 5-inch bow zone, so we're going to change direction. I'm going to start up here on this side first, and I really don't plan to have florals behind here. We're going to let the brown show. We might put some twigs back there, but I'm going to go a long and a short. The short goes to the outside, okay? And let me just stand a little bit more in front for just a second here. I'm going to go to the outside. Perfect. Hit that with my Spanish moss. So the next one can kind of come to the inside. Got to get a little bit shorter. We want to kind of mirror this piece here. So give it a bend. Give it a bend, and that can just maybe tuck in right there. And remember, you're going to be standing in front of your piece. I'm off to the side so you can see what I'm doing. But don't make it hard. You don't need to do that. You stand right in front and look at what you're building while you're doing it. Fantastic. I got a cool twig there. It's not really going the way I want it to go, but I'm going to bend it and take it out. So those kind of match up here. Beautiful. Let's have one more piece going down. I'm going to break into another bush of my fishtail. Push these up a little bit, but still cut them long. And I'm going to go right between these to kind of finish up my zigzagging. There basically zigzagging is triangle placement. Whichever way you're thinking that helps you wrap your mind around it is fine. Go right in here. That smaller piece needs to go to the outside, if possible. And remember, we're going into the grapevine, we're not shooting through the back. Just using some Spanish moss to secure it in. Okay, and let's just put a couple of pieces in the bow zone that are individual. Just to kind of get that area shored up a little bit. So I'm going to put one in here. And I'm just wiggling it through the grapevine, lots of glue. And then how about one just kind of coming up right here. That's fine as well. So it's a bigger surface, more perimeter to set, to put in. But I think we've done a great job. Okay, these are our background twigs that we already prepped. So these we want to lay kind of flat in the background. They're not going to come forward. They're just going to be all setting the background perimeter. So I'm going to take one and we're just going to put one basically right behind where we put greenery. And these have like a little C shape. So we want to make sure we're using the C shape kind of coming forward. And I'm not really going over the butterfly at this point. I'm going in the background. Go right behind the greeneries, and then you really won't have to use much more Spanish moss, and it should be kind of tight in that area because you got some other stems. There goes two of those. So on here, remember the transition is at the bow, which is going to be right in here. So we're just putting each of these right behind the greenery. Let's tuck it right behind where we went in before. Right, and let's have this one move upward. They are wired kind of at the base, so you can wiggle them all around. So all these C's are facing in. Facing in. We're going to try to stay consistent with that. There you go. Okay, so now we're going to go to the other side. Other side means they're all going to face this way. So instead of being this way, they're all going to go this way now. Okay, I'm going to start at the top. And we're going behind those greeneries, not in front right now. We'll be having some in front when we get to that point, but right now we're working behind. Why don't you let me in that little crack right there? Because I know you're going to stay good there if you do. There you go. Okay, there's one. Let's go behind these. Even that outside one, so still has to kind of come in. The twig comes in, goes behind there, just goes right between those others, cups in. Now right here. That way we've got lots of this in the back and a background layer. And then we'll have it also in the front when we do the front. And this is part of achieving that wildflower effect. And this time not with greenery or with floral, but actually with the twig. Going. And we've got this one down here, and here is where we're kind of at a transition. So I can have this one kind of scooped back that way. That's fine. I already put one there going the other way. Let's put this one here going this way. And wiggle it all around. That's great. So we got a good background twigs rocking. Let's put a couple more at the top that kind of go right behind their wings and just scoop around. Okay. They're very tip parts. Okay. That's fine right there. A little glue string, and this one right here will come that way. So it's almost like we added a different layer or texture to the background, which I think is a lot of fun. Okay, and this one this way. And they have those wires, so we can kick them back or forward, whatever we want to do. Okay, that did take the whole bush, so the twigs are in. Yay! All right, the flowers are next. Pink hydrangeas, we're going to be using those. We'll be using 2 over there and 1 over here. Remember, we have more florals on the right than the left. And with these, I don't keep the leaves, just going to pull off the leaves, and you can save those for any type of coverage you need to do on another piece. And then I'm going to cut these down to 6-inch stems on here. And then you've got them each about this long. We don't need them much longer for what we're doing, okay? So I'm going to take my first piece, and it's going to go right in the middle of this zone right here. I'm going to be gluing these in on the first go, but you can always push stuff in and then come back to glue it. But if I were you, I would take it 1 layer at a time. I wouldn't put the whole wreath together. Then you have a lot to redo. Okay, I'm going to put that in. I did bend the head forward just a little. And now I'm coming in to cover my glue with the moss. So it is kicking forward a slight bit, okay? So we got a good dimension. Now my second one is going to come in, and let's have it move out a little bit, just a little. Let's see, let's take this one. And we'll kick it out to the right a little. So these stems are about 6 inches long, so you got to come, if you want the head to be here, you got to put it below that, right? So I'm lower than that, pushing it in. You want to feel it go into that vine. And then I'm going to take and put my Spanish moss on it. And set that one right in there. Yeah, pretty. This one up. Okay, and then my third one is going to go on the right. So we'll have a triangle, but it will work across the design. Okay? So let's put this one down here. And remember, we've got a little bit of a stem because we want to have that dimension. So I'm going to push it down a little bit deeper than it needs to be so I can bend and move it. And we can have some movement to it. Okay, let me cover up all this. These are so pretty because I have a little bit of the green and the pink. Whoa, that's so pretty. Okay, those are in. 2 on that side, 1 on this side. All right, we got that part. All right, we're going to be ready for fillers next. So we're going to grab our pink fillers first. And these we're using the mini rose bush. And what we're going to do with these, they come in clusters of 3 like this, and they're about this long. So what you're going to want to do is just trim off the last little piece on there. I thought I saved one not trimmed, but it looks like I trimmed them all, guys. Oh, here's one. It's like I got ahead of myself. I've just taken off that bottom section. It's got a little indentation there, so it's really easy to cut. We're going to do that, and we'll end up with 6 pieces. So in general, we'll probably use a couple pieces here, 1 at the bow, and then the other 3 working its way up. I know that we're going to need some fishtail in between the greenery we already have. So what we're going to do is take our fishtail now, and I'm going to push it up, make it just a little bit shorter, and trim that. And let's lay that kind of in the background, and then we'll put our filler in. So we keep that wispiness. So in between where we had the other fishtail earlier, we're going to come and put this in individually. So I'm going to come in between these 2 and put a piece in. And if you need the Spanish moss, put the Spanish moss if it's sitting good and you feel like, oh, that went in nicely. Now you have other things to put it in with. Little sections. I went in between those. Let's go down our way. And make sure you're kind of staying in the midline here when you put it in. See how that comes out pretty now? Let's do it right here. Same thing. I'm going right between my other greeneries. Yeah. And now to the outside. And that's going to give us a little bit more going on behind our filler that we're about to put in. Especially up here in this area. Beautiful. Okay, and then let's put one maybe right here, kind of working its way behind that bloom here. Okay, so we just filled it in a little bit. We have 4 pieces of fishtail left, which is going to go around the bow. I'm going to keep that down there. Now, let's get our filler that we already did prep. We trimmed every one down, and they come in clusters of 3. I still left them kind of long because we've got to get out behind things. So my first piece is going in on this side, and I'm going to have it sit kind of right here. Go back. I got to go down a little bit more. There you go. Okay, I'm going to use my Spanish moss in there. Fill that in. Fantastic. Okay, let me step back for a second. Now my next piece, I'm going to work it more to the inside right here. Or to the outside. I think I like it to the outside. Let's go to the outside. We're kind of getting close to our bow zone, so we're not really going too hard in there, but we're in that general area. These have a good wire, so you can kick them up, down, or up, whatever you want. Okay, bow zone, so let's transition the other way. Let's take this one and have it go up. So I'm shaping it where the large roses, the longer roses in the back, and the shorter roses in the front. Try to get it into the wreath, guys. That wanted to come like forward. No. I had to boss it around. So I'm going to put this one over here, and that leaves us 2 more working our way up, okay? Let's go. Cannot wait to get our bow in. I think we're going to make that next, because then we'll have like a starting point to put all the greenery and stuff around the bow. Okay, let's work our way up. I'm going to put the next one here, kind of zigzagging, and we're shaping that up. The big bloom in the back, longer bloom, the short ones in front. I am giving that bottom stem a little kick forward. That just went between those. Great. Now let's go up here. So we're introducing a larger bloom in with our wildflowers to kind of add some interest. And we have this big butterfly in the back, which is really drawing your eye into the design. Okay, bring that forward. Looks good. I can see a little glue there. Let me get my Spanish moss in. Y'all, so pretty. Let's get back here and hide that. Camoed. Ooh, it's looking so full. Let me show you close up. Look how pretty. See it? You feel it? Yeah. It's looking really good. It's giving us that really nice, elegant look. I'm loving it. So I'm going to start with this is our pretty teal. It has a reversible navy blue on there, so it's got a nice dramatic ribbon. And then this one is a Japani. It has that silky finish, that neat finish, and we'll have that on top of it. So I'm going to start with this in the background, and I would like about a 16-inch tail to start here. I'm just going to cut that at an angle, and we'll measure that out on our bow maker. I'll bring that to the center, and I'm going to twist, okay? And I'm going to keep the green forward and the blue on the back, so I'm thinking about that as I'm making my loops. I'm going to go all the way out to 7, nice and loopy, and twist. Keep that loopy out here, 7 on this side. Perfect. Twist. We're going to have 2 loops in the back. This ribbon is really nice. It's going to sit up really pretty. In our design, we'll go 7 on the right here. Okay, I'm going to scrunch that. And I'm going to have this tail be a little bit longer at about 20 so they're not symmetrical. Okay. One just a little bit longer than the other. Really spread those out nice. Now I'm going to bring the pink on top. And we're going to have matching tails. first one will be the shorter tail. Put a twist, put 2 fingers in the middle to hold that, and now I'm going out at 7, same length. We're not going to taper in, everybody's going to stay nice and long. Hold that in the center, bring your next loop to the middle, just back it up a little. Twist, and we're going to do 3 loops now. Just lay one in the middle, and the other 2 will just lay right on top of these others. This gives us our pretty color combo. I'm going to measure on the last one, and then I'll spread it out. Scrunch that, and then bring these back to cut that. And now let's come back with the green blue in the middle. Got the same length tail again, and I'll twist. And I'm going to cut that one. Add an angle cut. Now we're coming into the middle, and I'm going to go a little bit smaller at 6 for this center loop. Scrunch it down. And another really little bit shorter tail to finish her off. And now I'm ready to bring this off the bow maker. I'm going to go right beside. Just bring that up. Rotate that through your fingers, and let's start to fluff this out. Really shape up this nice loopy bow. I love this one because all the loops are the same length basically, except for that center one. It's going to have lots of pretty movement. Okay, when I'm all done, I'm going to attach my cable tie to the back. That's how I'm going to put it on the wreath. Pull that tight. And let's just cut this off, and now we're ready to add our ribbon to the middle. Just lay that down. Okay, and I'm going to go with the pink in the middle. So we'll just cut a piece here. That's about 10 inches long. And that'll cover our mechanics. Make it very polished down the middle. And you don't see any wire or cable tie down there, and we are good to go. Okay, and this bow is ready to go in our wreath. I think you're gonna love it. Oh, look at it. It's so full of pizzazz and tails. It's a killer one. We're gonna put the bow in. I want you to play with this. You could put it where you match the angle. You could put it where you kind of go against the angle, or you could come back this way, kind of tuck this bow in right here, and I like that the best, where it's kind of tucked in and not facing forward. It's kind of sitting here, matching the direction of our butterfly. So I'm going to put this kind of like this, a little cattywampus. So I'm going to put it... With the tails doing this, splitting that stuff. If you have to take some floral out, you take some floral out. It's okay. We tried to leave plenty of room in the bow zone, but you never know how much we need. But I like that sitting up here. So let's go in with that. So it's sitting kind of at the top of the wreath. Don't let it sag down or go forward. Put it through the branches up here so it has to sit up. Okay. Trim that off. I put it real tight because I want to control how it's leaning. I love this stuff, guys. Oof. Okay, let's curl a little. Let's play a little. Got some tails rocking here. We got some tails kicking out over here. But I like to bring these forward. And we're going to have floral in between the layers a little bit, so that's going to be fun. Now I'm going to take this out because it ends up not coming out of the center of the bow. So I'm going to see if I can get it out pretty easily, or it's going to be a pain. Okay, now, oh yeah, the glue's a little still warm. Perfect. Now, in order to kind of clean that and neaten that up a little bit, I'm going to come right out of the center of the bow, or I'll just keep it over here off to the side. And I think I'll just keep it over here off the side. And we'll use some of that filler flower at the bow. So let me curl this around. All right, let's tuck this in right under here and kind of come out this way. Yeah. So pretty. So pretty. Oh, I love that. Ooh, 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 ooh. That looks good. That looks good. Okay, bow's in. Now let's start adding some of those fillers in around the bow. And for us, that is going to be the pink filler flower and the fishtail. That's what we're putting in next. Okay, let's see. Oh yeah, we're going to put this in right now. So I want you to take and push these up till you get nice little clusters of pinks. We're going to cut them long to get out from around the bow, but I want these to be their own little clusters and not too spread out. Fantastic. Now cut these all real long, like as long as they'll go, and we'll make these into clusters like we did the fishtail. And we're going to work this all around the bow, okay? So what you want to do is take one that has a flower and one that has the berry and go one tall, one short, cut them to match. And everyone will be different. Swirl that in the glue. We're going in tight to the bow. So let's take our first one and kind of go behind everybody back here. Watch your twigs. You don't get burned. And this is kind of a good spot because everything's really tight from the bow and stuff. So it's not going in. There we go. I'm going to bring that back now. And that'll just come out right here. I'll bend it pretty good and it'll pop out between these two. Perfect. Okay, now let's put some tight over here. So these are little surprises that are going to pop out between the layers of the ribbon. Now, mind your direction. If it's over here, it needs to go that way. If it's over here, it needs to go this way. We're pretty much doing that. The only thing I'm doing is bringing it a little bit back into the bow. Push that in. Yeah. And bend it. Ooh, I love it. Let's put one down below also. Maybe kind of coming out of the center. And we've got this whole entire bush to use down here. We don't have to have it other places in our design. If we want it down here, we can have it. Okay, spread apart your bow and let's go right in underneath. Yeah, right there. Perfect. And one more on the right side. So a berry one, a flower one. Stagger them. Trim them to the same length. Hold it like a pencil. Twirl it in that glue pot. Come in from the right. Ooh, that looks wispy in there. I'm going to try just a touch of fishtail in there too. Not a bunch, just a little bit. I'm going to make this short. We got to keep that stem a little long though, because we got to get behind the ribbon. Let's see if we can get two pieces of fishtail like opposite these others we already put in. Go in between a couple of layers. Make sure you're going into the greenery, grapevine, not through the back, okay? Try not to. Looks pretty good right there. That one might have gone through the back, so I'll have to, when we get towards the end, I will flip it around and double check. Now this one, I'm going to kind of have to just go straight up instead of curve it because it's kind of coming out of the top of the bow. So we're using our pink filler bush down here. We have a little bit left. And I'm using two pieces of fishtail just to add layering into the bow. There you go. Oh, pretty. Just pop those up. And that gives that all that dimension and tucks it in there. And I like it at that opposite angle where she's kind of crashing in and that pops it in. Okay, right now we're getting ready to put our lavender filler next. You got just a little bit left of these. So before we even get to the lavender filler, let's take a look and see where we might have a couple of holes. I see one right there between those two. So I'm going to make my own little cluster with one fishtail and two of the flowers from the floral bush. And I'm making a cluster of 3 and trimming it off. Fill that in right now before we put the lavender in. That way we don't have any big surprises. I'll go right here. Yeah, there we go. And then those roses are pretty there. How about let's put a little bit of filler right there. And then that just gives it a touch of filler in a couple of different locations. Here, I'm going to take this one, make a little cluster. We're going to come right here. We kind of did our bow detail work before the end this time, okay? A lot of times we do that at the end, but today we did it before that. Right in there, and then here's this little piece. Let's just take and have that tuck in there all by itself. Okay, y'all, we got all the peak filler in. I feel good about our holes. We've got them covered. We've got greenery everywhere. We got twigs in the background. I'm loving all that. Kind of bridge our gap from our teal to our pink. It pulls in this little touch of lavender that's on those. It's very subtle, and because it's super wispy, it looks really good at anything wildflower. So what you want to do is just tear apart this bush. It tears apart really into these pre-made clusters that are great. Easy peasy to work with. And you want to take all of these and then just trim them to where they're all the same length. I'm just going to give them about 2 inches past the part where they're clustered together. It's important you don't cut them too short or you'll lose the pre-made clusters. So we're going to do that to the whole bush. When you do that, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We have 9 pieces. So we're going to start off over here. We're going to probably put 4 over here, 3 over there, and that leaves us 2 around the bow. Something like that. So let's kind of get started on the right side. Now, just take and shape them up before you put them in. It's important we don't just go willy-nilly with them, or your wildflowers are going to lose their pretty shape. So I'm going to start with my first piece, kind of going behind our pink roses, tucking in right there. Beautiful, okay? I'm going to come down a little. We're going to zigzag to the outside. So when we go to the outside, reverse it to where the shorter piece goes to the outside, right? And the longer piece kind of goes up. That way we don't get a piece shooting way out. And remember, I'm still putting these in the midline. I'm not going out into the outside of the grapevine. Okay? Perfect. Zigzag back in right here. This is piece number 3 over here. And I'm allocating 4 for this side, so we're doing good. This is going to go to the inside, so now put the little piece on the inside. So that way it can kind of come and break the plane of the butterfly. And I'm tucking these behind. They're not going in front. They're going behind the behind the fishtail. Okay, that's 1, 2, 3. Number 4 is going to go back to the outside. Do that same situation. Now, this time, I just yanked that off. I'll have to glue that back on in just a second. This time, this one's going to go to the foreground, a little bit here, a little bit tighter. So I laid it on top of the greenery because I wanted it right behind that hydrangea. Now let's switch to this side. Remember, we're doing that C shape with everything we do. So this first face is going to go to the outside right here. Kind of came down a little bit with it because I want to do another piece kind of overlapping kind of the butterfly at the top there. So the inside part of the zigzag here up higher. And now I don't need as much Spanish moss. I'm going into places there's already other florals. It's tighter when you're pushing it in. See how that scoops around? So I went inside, outside. Let's come back to the inside. This piece, and this one kind of worked down there by the bow a little. Come down. And now let's come right outside right here. I love having this lavender part. Really ties that cottagey look together. Okay, now let's take a look at it. We've got one more, and I'm just going to go walk back from it, squint my eyes, and see where I don't see lavender. I'm just looking for lavender. And I think we just need a piece right here, and we can have it kind of scoop up. And I think we're good with that. Have it work right beside these guys. Oh my gosh, so pretty. I love this, y'all. Yo, that ain't going in there. Just bending my stem. I'm going to trim my stem just a little bit. Let's try again. I'm going to have to look. There we go, I think. The bow's in there too, and it's like fighting in. There we go. It felt good going in. You might as well get it right now, because otherwise you're going to have to fix it later if you don't. Looks so good. Looks so good, y'all. Oh, we are basically done before we even do this part, but now we're going to add the twigs to the foreground. All our other twigs are kind of chilling in the back, but these twigs are going to be loud and proud and in front. So we're going to use the same technique we did, but we're going to try to put these a little bit more forward in between where we put twigs before. So basically you get that zigzag look, but these are going to kind of come, they're still going to shape the same way, but they'll be layered in front, so there'll be greenery behind them. So my first piece, and I prepared the twigs the exact same way we did before. So I'm going to go between these two, just right in here. We're going to tuck that in. There's a wire in there so you can take and straighten that up a little bit and just have that kind of come in between, just a little bit forward, okay? Now we're going to go in between these two on the inside. Kind of like an opposite zigzag of what we did before. Okay, I got my greenery on, my glue on it. And this one's gonna go in front. So I move some stuff out of the way, but make sure you don't put it behind. Perfect, now I'm achieving more of that wispiness. Okay, that's what we want in the wildflower designs. All right, now between these two, okay, go into the outside, but not like this. Keep these cupped in, okay? Everybody comes in to stay with that cohesive look. Just going down here in the foreground. Oops, I got glue on that flower and it got me. Just on that little wildflower. How dare you, wildflower? It wasn't that bad, it just scared me. Okay, now let's come down and put one between these two, kind of coming forward. And if twigs aren't your thing, don't do the twigs. No worries. This is just part of this look and how your work's going to always be standing out and being different. Not like everybody else's. That's our really main focus when we get down to it. Standing out from the crowd, being different. That's going to go there. In between these two, we'll get that glue string off there. Same song, different verse. Coming in the foreground here, there's this twig here. So we're going to go between that and the next one. I can just push that in right there. Perfect. All right, now let's work to the outside here. Still staying in the foreground. Whoops, watch your glue pot. Let's just set that whole puppy in there. Nice. All right, now let's go to the inside. A little bit tighter to the bow. That's just so cool to me, kind of coming over the bow. All right, we need some on the outside here too. We've got this one here. Let's work between them more forward. Push that in. Right now I'm fighting some glue strings here because I dipped it in the glue pot. bend that down just a little bit. Okay, now that's in the background. All this is going there. We're doing pretty good. I think we're pretty good. I'm going to do one more behind the bow down here. I'm not going to put much more over the bow. Like, I'm not just going to use these to use them up, but I'm going to come behind the bow down here at the bottom, kind of in behind. There you go. Let that kind of work up between those. All right, this is scooping around. I have like a couple more. Let me step back and take a look. Oh, you guys, it's so beautiful. Just love that look. It's just so pretty. Let's go one more over here, maybe a little bit to the background. I'm even checking the background now, looking for holes, because when you see this from the street, you'll be able to see the perimeter of the greenery and the twigs, and I want to make sure it looks pretty even. I'll go a little bit to the outside there, and then I'm going to put one more here, kind of behind. Sorry to get so quiet. I'm just excited. You can always tuck these back in too. They don't all have to be open. Woo! It's stunning. It's like rock star status, guys. Oh, blue marinos. We're crushing it. I'm going one more under the boat. Right from the middle. You can't hide from me there, yeah. Okay, we did it. It looks so great. I hope you're excited about trying a showstopper like this one. It's big and beautiful, and it's really a long time since we've worked on a big 24-inch wreath, and it's stunning. It's gorgeous, and of course, I'm gonna find the perfect spot, the perfect home to sell that to for somebody who wants a really big and beautiful wildflower design. I love it. We're going to work on a 18-inch wreath base today, and we're going to use a bunny head, a little bit different color this time. This is going to be the green version of it. And of course, we're going to have roller coaster ribbon. So what I'm thinking is we're going to be putting the bunny over here, and we're going to work a big bow here. So we're going to work opposite. So if you prefer, you can always have the bunny here and the bow here. All right, this is always my go-to spot, but you can do either one. So I'm going to work opposite. Now my florals, I'm going to use, I have the Perfect here. I have these greeneries here that have a mix of like the frosted kind of greenery that's got the fuzzy part. So it's like a lamb's ear. It's not like for Christmas or anything, but it's a type of foliage that plants have. So it adds a little bit of lighter color, which works good with that muslin fabric on the bunny's head. And then this is perfect. I've got the green, but I've got a little teal. So when I know I'm going to go a different direction than the main color of the attachment, I got to pull that color in the ribbon. So we're using roller coaster ribbon. We're going to be able to pull that teal in. And then I got a little bit of fishtail just to add a little wispiness. But let me show you the ribbons, because they're going to be the star of our show. Look how perfect this is. I'm going to use burlap because the bunny had the burlap. And then I'm going to use this teal because I got the teal flower, right? Then a little green because the bunny's got the green on the outline. This is a check, which goes perfect with anything rustic. And then this one's so cute. This is that wired with the teal and the green. So when I bring all that together, that's going to work really well. Okay? So we're going to do that first. I'm going to put you guys down on the camera, and we're going to tie our bow first. We'll see how this puppy comes together. I need to get my bow maker. All right, here we go. So remember the bow on our bunny has burlap. So I want to bring a little burlap in. Plus this will work really good in our roller coaster ribbon. So I'm going to pull that in first in the background. We're going to make a funky bow. So you know what? I am probably not going to dovetail. We're just going to angle cut it. Come to the center and twist. Now my little dowels are popping out a little. I'm going to just hammer them in. Pardon me, it's going to be loud. yeah, so Honey Bunny's going to Canada next week. It's going to freeze. That means I got to deal with all these plants. And we got volleyball tournament. Yay, fun times. And she's got games. Oh my goodness, we got this. So I'm going to go a little bit bigger than 6. I like 6.5 or almost 7, you know. Let's go with that. And I'm going to twist. All right, I went almost to 7. I went 6 3/4. And I twist. And I'm going to fluff it out. I need to make sure I leave plenty because I've got to have, I need enough for my roller coaster. So I don't want to go crazy because I only have one roll of this here. And I'm going to go at 8 inches. Cut that at an angle. Isn't that perfect? Okay, we got a great start. Now I'm going to come in with, see the blue and the teal? I like to take and I need to separate those. So let's come down with this first, and I'm making that decision because this is smaller. Now, this looks really cute in the background too, but in this case, I'm going to layer this one down, then we're going to come with the green, then this one, okay? That's my plan, Stan. And I'm going to cut this one the opposite direction, and we'll put that one over here on the left side. So you guys are staying warm. I know it happens every year, but I hate winter. Is there any other people who hate winter? I know last time I asked, there are people who like winter, and I was praying for you guys. But wow, does anybody not like summer? Maybe I should ask it that way. Okay, I'm going a little shorter at 6 inches. And we're going to do, maybe we're going to do one loop. We're going to kind of layer this up. So let me just scrunch this side. I'll cut that at an angle. All right, let's come in with the check. And so this is the actual color on the bunny. So we want to make sure we got plenty of the green on there. Okay, so we're going to go a little bit more. Yeah, I guess because I'm not sure why our mosquitoes haven't been that bad in a while. Now it's going to freeze. It's really going to knock them down. Not complaining too much. I don't love humidity, but I don't know. We have air conditioners. That's probably what you guys say about heaters. Okay, this is at 6. I'm going to stay about a little bit shorter than my blue one, okay? It's kind of eyeballing it here. All right, let's come on this side. I'm going to do 2 of these because now I want to bring the green in. Remember I was telling y'all the other day, I was picking my university. I was eliminating universities like, nope, nada, not interested. I would ask my mom, is it cold there? She'd be like, yes, it's cold there. Okay, never mind. Not going. Poor. I'll just stay right here. All right, now let's bring in our next one, which is going to be our little green and teal. I love that. Let's do 3 loops of this one. I think it would be fun to have 3. When I was a kid, believe me, I'd be like praying for snow for Christmas and all that stuff. Now I'm like, oh, we got a picture when Kaya was little with snow. We're good. We're good. I was like, I went one time with Richard we were just in Toronto for a December, which we didn't go up there very much for Christmas because Richard's dad, most of our marriage, went to Mexico for the summers. Once his mom passed away and he remarried, and they just were summering down. As soon as they got past the New Year, they were going to come down here on their way to Mexico. So no, that sounds great. But we had to go up there for a wedding, and I was like, if this car breaks down, I am going to be the first to die because I don't have proper clothing. I don't own anything that would work, and I'm not buying anything because we have some days of winter, but like, it's not that many. It's not that many. I'm not investing in all those things. Y'all should have seen me. I used to do a show in Oklahoma in February, and it would always be brutal. It'd just be, woo, brutal. Let me bring a little more burlap to the front. We're going to finish off the bow with a touch of that burlap in the front. It would just be, you know, whew, horrible. And I wasn't going to buy, those girls had them cool cuddle duds. And I don't even know if they still make those. They kind of look like overalls or like a skiing bib, but they zipped up for winter. And those were like, ooh, that looks cool. But, you know, they were kind of expensive. I'm sure they were worth it, but expensive. See how I did that a little shorter? We want to layer that in, okay? And here was me. I just had layer after layer. I'm kidding you not. I would put, you know, leggings. I had also, what do you call the things you wear in the winter? We used to call them thermals, maybe? We had those. Because I had polypropylene ones for backpacking. Because I was in Girl Scouts backpacking back in the day. I wore those. And then I had leggings. Oh my gosh. I just had layer after layer after layer. So once we got in the building and they closed the doors, I start stripping those layers off. And we joke around because I would wear these big jackets I had got in Walmart. Okay, I'm thinking I'm going to end with a little green in the center would work fine. I think that would do us. I think we'll be good right there and stop with our bow there. Well, Marley's my niece guy. She goes to school in Colorado. So she drove here for Christmas, been here. She did a trip with one of her friends to Gatlinburg, and they had so much fun. And then she was here for Christmas, and so she drove back a few days ago to Greeley, which is outside Denver, about an hour. I don't know which direction, but anyway, she got back, and now Mom and Dad are always watching, you know, of course, where she's at, what's going on, and it's going to be like negative there for a few days, and Dad's like, I hope the car can make it. It's like, that car, I don't know if it's made for that cold, right? Hopefully it can. She's had it serviced there a couple of times, so hopefully it has all the right fluids. Yikes. We're just trying to keep our cars running lately. Y'all know how hard it is when you have to get a new car repair place? The place we've gone to for years, unfortunately, the owner passed away, and it's just been a little bit crazy since he passed. We're trying to give him a chance, but we're not that impressed. You know what I mean? So we're having to try a new place. Okay, I'm going to put the green down the middle, so I'm going to fold it like I normally do, and we're going to put a couple of knots in the back. That looks pretty darn cute. I think it's going to look cute with our daisies and our cute little bunny. All right, our next step is going to be to put the ribbon in. So I'm going to move the camera up in just a second. My fingers are like, it's cold. How am I supposed to work out here? All right, let me bring the camera up. So the start of this right now, we've got Mr. Bunny. I think it's going to work out good. This is kind of, I'm pulling in the teal because I wanted to have like this fun festive look that wasn't pink. Just because some people don't want to do pink because, you know, that's all that's out there sometimes for Easter with the pastellies. And I thought if you're a mom of boys, maybe you want something a little bit more bolder but cutesy too. So I was trying to have some options. So I think the bow is going to go right here and the bunny's going to go here. So I'm going to go ahead and put those in first. So this has a big long hanger that comes on that. I'm going to cut that off first. And then you're able to kind of grab behind those wires on it. It's got some wires that come into the head from the ears. So it's kind of cool. The ears are wired so you can play with them. I love that. Let me tie a little knot with the hanger just to get it out of the picture kind of to the back. All right, now get your awl and start with that. So I'm going to punch this in and go behind the wire. You don't want to punch through his forehead though, because you can't really, he'll have to have a bow on his forehead if you do that. I'm doing some surgery right now. All right, so I kind of make my hole there with an awl. And then I'm going to try to come back. I'm going to hold that spot and try to come back with a cable tie. May not work at all, but we're going to try. And it also may work the very first try. Boom! Because that's how it's done, bunny. So satisfying when you get it through quickly. Especially when you're on camera, y'all. Okay, let me get Bunny in here. trying to. There's wire cutters. Isn't that the way? You have 15 pairs of wire cutters, but when you need one, you cannot find it. And I can't even blame my family this time. It's me. Okay, I just kicked those ears out a little bit. That's so cute. All right, now I'm going to come in with my bow next. We're going to go ahead and get that in because then I'm going to figure out my ribbon from there. I think it'd be really cute. You could have it like this. If we did it this way, then the ribbon tails could kind of start from right under the base right here and come out from the bow and come down. And then we could have enough room for one roller coaster up here. Just use your fingers. Like I could do 1, 2 here, and I can probably get 1 there. Okay, and then the tail pop out above the head. So let's do that. Okay, I'm going to come up and down. How about right in here? I think that'll work. Then we can roller coaster it from there on out. Roller coaster. Yeah, I don't know what we're going to do if it's negative degrees. It's only going to be 20 some. I know I'm a whiny, but it's hard to wear flip-flops when it's 20. People judge you a little. Even though I don't care. You're getting the looks, you know. Like, what? Because people here want to wear Uggs and stuff. And I'm like, y'all, we can't be wearing Uggs. My feet will start sweating the minute I put that on. Ugh. There's a time and a place for Uggs, and it's not Houston, Texas. Unless you're going to be outside. Okay, so I went up and down with the bow a little bit different, but I think that'll be kind of fun. Bringing the tails out from under there. All right, now, let's grab these. Here we go. So we're going to have these with the burlap, too. All right, here I got the burlap started. Then I'm going to layer the check on top. Let me see what we're going to do with the others. We might just not use this one and just stick with this as our third on top. I think that's what we'll do. We'll do these 3. Okay, I think I'm going to have the tail kind of start. I was thinking it'd be kind of cute if it would come out from underneath him. Okay, and then work up to here. I'm going to try for that. So let's pin this under his chin. I'm going to make it a little bit longer. Let me just make sure I've got plenty of this burlap. I think we're going to be okay on burlap. Hopefully we have enough. I'm a little paranoid. So you kind of have to plan out your tails ahead of time. And even though when you use more ribbon it can be less expensive, it can be a little more time consuming to create the design. But not after you do it a little bit and practice. So we're going to start coming from under the little neck. That's super cute. Now, and I could change this out too if I wanted to and make it all different. I could definitely do that on his neck, but I kind of like it being different so that different layers kind of line up there. All right. Now we're going to start our first roller coaster. So I'm going to come in here. I'm going to measure out. And if I stick with that, then my next one would be right. He would finish right here. So I would like to maybe come out just a little bit more. Right here. And that would get me closer to the base of the bow. And I like that a little bit better. So we're going to bring this in. Now, you have to make these a little higher than you think because we've got florals, we've got greenery to put in there. So this feels comfortable if the design was already done. So I'm going to go a little bit out of my comfort zone, measure with my fingers, decide where that is. Okay, and that's fully extended out. It's got to be a little bit bigger because we're putting the ribbon first. So I went with a full hang 10. Now you'll have to measure and eyeball yours too, but just use your hands. Like, okay, to there, to there, to there, to there. That's pretty consistent. They won't be perfect, but it helps you have some consistency. And I'm kind of coming down because my next one I can come up or I can come up and come out. I can do either one or I can stay right in the middle. Either way is fine. I think I'm going to stick with my first instinct to go down. Cable tying that down. I'm using brown cable ties here so they kind of hide. If we do see them later, we'll cover them with some moss. All right, I still haven't cut my ribbon yet. Another cute look though, and we can work on this later in the month too, is I can do some cuts on the ribbon. So we'll do that later in the month so you can see how roller coasters work with cuts. We can break it down to the nitty-gritty. Alrighty. Now let's have this one kind of come up higher. And if that one's about there, and this one's going to come to about here, it's got to be a little bit higher. I'm going to just do an eyeball first, then I'm going to come back with my fingers. Something like that. Let's see. It's a little bit longer. Higher. Higher. Be a little bit higher, I think. Cute already. Okay. Gather it up. Something about how cute these lines are going. I love that. And remember, you're going to have florals tucked in and greenery and all that. So all this mechanics is going to hide. Oh, I pulled the green a little too tight. See, come on out, green. There we go. And it's okay if they don't layer exactly. If you do want this to be like a layered look, you can run a little glue down the middle even before you start doing this. But I like for it to be moving around on you. Okay. Now we're going to cut our tail. I don't think it needs to be too long, just kind of popping out from here. Let's do it like about this. About 8 inches. Okay, first step going in. Okay, that's our first roller coaster in. Bada boom, bada bing. Now we're going to the top. Now, I noticed I've only attached that to one little bitty grapevine. So that's a fail. I'm going to come back. I'm just put another cable tie over that to more. I don't know why I did that. Now I feel comfortable. Because one grapevine is going to pull. Because somebody is going to end up picking this up by the ribbon. All right, let's go to the top and let's get us one nice roller coaster to the top. I'm going to cut these at this angle, I think. No, at this angle. So it comes down over the ear. If I don't do it for lunch, maybe we do it for supper. What's one of your go-to cold winter meals that everybody loves? I did make those sliders that you make with the Hawaiian rolls. Those are such a big hit with Kaya. She loves those. All right. So if we put a roller coaster that went from here to here, that'd be fine, right? And then it could tuck back in kind of behind here, or I could have a tail to tail. So I think I'm going to start right behind that ear. Because we're definitely going to have some floral up by the ears. So that tail's a little bit longer. I'm going to go probably 10 inches or so. Oh, good. I'm going to have just enough of this ribbon. Hallelujah. Perfect. When you use all the ribbon, yet you don't run out. That is satisfying. All right. How about like right here? And then I should have enough. Oh, I gotta cut this. What if we had this go? Maybe like right here. That would work. I'm just making sure I've got enough length here to do it. I'm gonna tie this in. Put you in there, buddy. Pull it tight. All right. Now we're going to come around. I'm going to go ahead and cut my pieces so I can manipulate this better for the camera. This is cute. I mean, it's really let me establish my color palette with just ribbon. I love that. All right, and let's come up above. I do a lot of lining it up. Let me see if that would work. So down here, they're about that tall. Just a little bit taller. I'm going to go down just a little bit. Okay. All right. So I'm good right here. And then you could make another loop that kind of goes behind the bow, or you can just trim it off here and let the tails pop out. They'll just look like part of the bow. I need to go just a little bit higher than I did in the bottom because I got an ear to work with here. I think that would be fine. And it's not glued or anything, so if it ends up not looking exactly how you want it to, you could come in and change it or tighten it up. It's not really a big deal because you didn't put glue on anything. All right, here's my last tail over here. And I will want it to pop out this way behind the bow. Should be really cute. So I'm going to trim it and have it go probably, I'm going to have this one's cut this way. I'm going to cut the same way and have it go back here. All right, so we're good. Like our base is all done. And that's a little time consuming, but that's finished. And now I'm going to trim off the cable ties. Let's do it. 1 and 2. And okay. All right, does everybody feel comfortable doing that? I know it's a few steps, but you really get a kind of a nice look. And when you're not trying, you can go a little faster when you're not trying to make it for the camera to be able to see it. All right, and we're going to work with the top one up there when we get some florals around it. It's covering your ear right now, but it'll be coming down. All right, let's come in now. I'm going to start with a little bit of our greenery. So I'm going to take our greenery stem here. It's got all kinds of different greeneries. We're going to break one down and start to put our placement in around our curls. With this one, I am going to take and go ahead and just tear it down. If it'll tear, let's see. I think it tears. And then we'll start using these individually. Kind of making our own little clusters. All right, so let's take our first piece here. I'm going to start with above the bow. Our transitions are going to work like this. If I'm above the bow, I'm going to be going to the right. If I'm below the bow, I'm going to be going to the left. I built the roller coasters back to the bow, but the greenery is going to go from the bow out, okay? So that is a little bit different than I normally would do. But we want our eye to work from the bow out, okay? So it's going to go right in here. Start layering these in. Perfection. Now I'm going to cluster these up to make my own little cluster. So I'm going to take like a little green on top of the fern with a little bit of dark green. And because these have wires, you can literally just twist them together. You don't have to go crazy. You can use a pick machine if you want, but I just twist and then trim to save time. And then you get the glue on there and you're ready to go. So that's my first one going up. Now this one's going to come down. If you can see that glue, just cover it with Spanish moss. But I started off by going where the greenery is going to hit right where a roller coaster comes in. Okay, so my next greenery is going to go right through here. And we're going to start to fill up the base with all these pretty mixed greens. So when you buy a mixed stem, the nice thing is I can go, you know, so many directions with it. I'm going to rotate that forward. You got to make sure they're facing forward. Got to shake hands like crazy. All right. Okay, this one's going to go right here. Get that sliding in and just come right over. Now I'm going to go in there with a little moss this time. That glue is showing. And then come underneath. Alright, let's put another piece at the top. I'm going to cut another one down. And this time I'm going to take and cut the top part. Instead of tearing it, I need a couple of little longer pieces, so we'll cut it. But I hope y'all are having fun and you're getting to create some, even though it's cold. All right, let's let's come down here. And I'm going to have this one still kind of come at the angle, but bring it over. Let's go down here. I hope you are. I hope you are excited to create something. Isn't that what it's all about? You watch a video and you're like, yes, I'm going to go do that. I'm going to go use that roller coaster ribbon. All right, now let's go back at the top. It will come together. We hope. That's the plan. I'm going to bring a little leaf in front of the ear, get that loop up. Let's bring these ears forward. This bow fluffed back up. Look at this here. I think we've done a pretty good job with our basic greenery. I'd like one more piece here and a little bit to the inside. Let me see. Oh, yeah, I have one more. Perfect. And then we're going to start to bring in our florals. I like to use the florals a little bit tighter to the base, but this is shaping it out nicely for us so far. I need a little behind the bow, so I'm thinking let's go a little bit shorter right here. Trim that out. I like that this has like a lemon leaf, and then it's got an ivy and all that fun mixed in. All the textures. I'm still going to go up because it's above the bow. Pull it out just a little bit so it reaches out. I got a little bit of a ribbon tail here I want to show. So I'll just mix that in between my greenery. Put in my bow. There you go. So this is one of the reasons I generally don't put bows onto the end, because you're having to fluff and refluff. But when you're doing the roller coaster ribbon, just sometimes it's easier to get that in first. Otherwise, then you're fighting around everything else to get your ribbon in. So it's, you know, either way is fine. Whatever battle you want to fight. All right, I'm going to use one more piece kind of coming up in the top right there. So right now I'm just looking at my shape for my whole wreath. I'm seeing how it's laying out here. If it's above the bow, it's going up. If it's down below the bow, it's going down. And I'm going to tuck this under. Okay. And now a little bit back here. So the way we have this, you could even not use the daisies too if you're not a daisy fan. If you just want to go straight into creating just with the ribbon. You don't have to have the daisies in there. They're coming next. They're coming up next. And I'm curious to see how we're going to cluster them. Fern laid out here. Okay. I like these little off-white berries too that are in there. Those are fun. Okay, I'm glad we left that pretty long. So far we got a kind of good movement going on. We got our ribbon going. Now you can see it popping out, but you don't really see where it's connecting. That's our look we're going for. All right, now let's come in with our daisies. So these are going to add the whimsical fun. They're with the 3 colors that we have been using. Should pull the whole design together. So I am not loving the leaves, which is typical for any less expensive bush. I'm generally not going to love the leaves. But I do want that pretty floral head, so I'm going to pull those down. But that's one of the reasons they can keep these bushes less expensive, is there's not a lot of, you know, money in the fabric of the leaves and stuff like that. So pull these down. And we're going to start to create some little clusters that we're going to put in to this design. We can do it one of 2 ways. We can like make clusters that have every color, or we can make clusters that are just 1 or 2 colors. We'll play with it a couple of different ways and see what we like best. But here is our first one. Cut them pretty long because you need to have length to get Now we're trying to get out from, we're trying to get behind greenery, and we're trying to get with the ribbon, so we don't come too short. Coming up. I'm just nipping them. And then if you want, keep the greenery on the bush, because if you need to fill up something really quick with some cheap greenery for something, like don't pull these all off until you know for sure you're going to use them as leaves, because they store a lot better like this. And then if you need to stick them like as a filler, like a pot, something you're doing at your front door, and you want to just stick, you could just stick these in and then have the pretty stuff on top. But it's like a cheap moss, so hold on to it on the stem. All right. So if I just bring in the teal and white, and I just do little clusters like this, and I do like, let's tuck that in. And then I do green and white, and we bring that in. That's how that will look. Okay, which is really cute too. And we'll just have to watch where we put the teal, because the teal is going to pop the most in the design. All right. So, or if I go teal, green, white in every one. So I know the teal is going to pop the most. So I have to think about exactly where I'm putting them if I leave them like this. So let's see if I like that. I have a feeling I'm going to like the other better. Oh my God, something about daisies and bunnies is so cute. So if you ended up putting teal in each one, and every cluster had teal, would I like that? Let me take a look. Yeah, I think I'd be okay with it. I'd be okay with it, because we can kind of rotate the teal where it's not on the same side of each cluster. Cute. Okay, we're going to do that. So I'm going to need both bushes, because I'm going to really jam a lot of these in there. Jam in a nice way. Put a lot of them in there. Thank you, Lori. Yeah, something about just going classic with little bunnies is so cute. All right, let's do the same thing with this bush. I have two bushes. I gotta do this and pull these down. Yeah, I'm gonna have fun working in this color combo. I like that it's a little bit different, but it would look cute with a lot of people's houses. Look good on a black door. That shark, whatever that green is called. I'm calling it the wrong color, I think. That bright green. I'm a fan of that. Ooh, yeah. Fuchsia's pink, right? So chartreuse, is that green? Am I on the right path? Sometimes I'm thinking, am I making that up? Is that right? Okay, let's trim these off. I'm just trimming these off the bush. Giving this bush a trim up. Okay. And then I'm going to save that for later. Alrighty, let's go. Let's do this. Okay, so I'm going one of each color every time. And sometimes just take the head. I don't usually get out the steamer to steam heads. You can. But I just try to flatten in my hand and just kind of push on it. And usually it's going to be fine. Okay. I'm going to take a green, a white, and a teal. We're going to make a nice little cluster. I'm not going to make them like a pom-pom. I'm going to make them just like a little bit, you know, a couple of high, a low. Something like that, okay? Spread them out a little bit. And now we're going to go ahead and trim these where they're even. And then I'll put some glue on them, and we're going to go into our piece. So anytime you're using multiple stems, make sure you're using adequate glue, because we want to make sure the glue is getting all the stems. Let's start off here. We'll start out right at Bunny's neck. And in this case, I'm going to kind of have this kind of come down from the neck, because it's tucking in under here. And it's not going to follow all the direction rules that are coming over there. Those are coming in a second, okay? This is just like his embellishment at his neck. His ribbons come down from there, right here, and we're good to go. All right. And now we're going to continue with our other rules over there. Let me get your little teal one out, baby. There we go. Yeah. All right. So I'm going to keep it kind of right top when I put it all together. Maybe we'll let it be the tallest. Cutie patootie. All right. So we're going to come in up here. Tuck that right in. I'll take and rotate it a little. That's pretty dang cute. And I'm going to put a little Spanish moss on that one. This time I'm putting it on there to make sure it's holding. It's going into kind of a wider gap back here. So I really don't need to worry about it showing. I want to make sure it's holding in there. And you can bend those. All right, and then one more cluster down here. So 1, 2, 3 at the bottom. This is so fun. I love doing some, you know, different colors. I do love green, though. I like finding any excuse to use bright greens. All right, let's go to the bottom. This one I cut just a little bit longer so I have room to tuck it in there. And we're going to go right above the ribbon. Get on in there, baby. There we go. Ooh, cute. Putting a little Spanish moss on it. All right, now let's start working above. We've got 1, 2, 3 clusters here. So I'd like to try to get at least 2 up here. The first one we're going to do is right above his ears, because that's just a natural, adorable place to put it. So let's put, let's work opposite this cluster. So I'll put teal, and then I will put green next to the forehead. And then we will put white top left. Okay, so I'm paying attention to my little clusters I'm putting in. Okay, so this is what's going to kind of look above the forehead. Okay, so I'm going to trim those where they're even, and we're going to go in right above. Let's do this. Excuse me, Mr. Bunny. Just going to hurt for a second. We're going to pierce your head now. So we want that, and then that. Oh, that's perfect. I'm going to bring it down just a little, right there. So let me get a little Spanish moss here. And I'm using that to secure those stems and to hide the glue over here on the side. All right. Now our next one, I'd like to be like right here at this edge of the roller coaster. So you see anytime there's a connection point on the roller coaster, that's where these flowers are going. Okay, so keep these longer. So you're going to have to go through your stash of cuts and make sure you get the longest ones you got. Which is right here. I got the longest of everybody, I think. All right. I'm going to poof out this head a little. Something like that, I think, would go good. This time I'm letting the white be on top. So I'm going to trim them till they're equal. Loading up with glue. Going right in here. Okay, so I'm still working kind of the angle of coming from this direction. So the only places we cheated with the different flow is at the bunny, okay? Because he's his own thing. This is his own transition point, down and up. Up here, we have to follow the rules of the bow. So we're going up from here. Try to get in there with you, buddy. You cutie patootie. Need a little Spanish moss in there. Once the glue sets up too, you can come back and separate them a little. I like to give them kind of their own little space so they don't look too pom-pommy. But that's cute too. All right. Now we have a few blooms left. I think we're going to stop with that. Now we need to kind of take it from this compact look that we've got going. And I want to add a little wispiness. There's nothing wrong with how it looks. It looks adorable like this. But I want to add a little bit of wispiness. So I want to come in with a little bit of fishtail. So I'm going to use it kind of like a twig. It will need to be wispy and long. But I don't need any wispiness down here. You're not going to see that. So take and push up these stems. Okay. But cut them really long still. Okay. That's our trick here. Pushing them up, but we're not cutting them short. We're cutting them long. We're just going to use one bush for this. We're not going to go crazy. But it's going to help us with our little bit of adding that, you know, wispy feel. And we created this color scheme just with that ribbon. Remember, the bunny gave us the green, which if you're not comfortable with doing the green and teal, this would be really cute. You could use a green with pink. And I'm sure I've got some cute ribbon for that too. So you definitely could use that green with different options. The bunny also comes in purple. So you could, if you wanted to do purple, it'd be just really cute combos you could do. So when you cut that off, you've got all these weird looking spiky pieces, but that's what we want, okay? Especially to start around the perimeter. I think we have 7 pieces on here. So that gives me, I'd like to use 2 up here and 3 at the bottom, okay? So let's just start with them by putting them in. I'm going to give it a swirl. I'm going to start with one right up here, kind of coming out above her head. Just a little wispiness right here. Now, because it's a single stem, if you feel it going lightly, you're going to need to come back with moss and just gently place it in there. You're kind of sandwiching it in. Usually I like to use fishtail in more than one. That's the reason why, because it gets in there tighter. Okay, so there's one. Let's put number 2. Let me bring that up a little bit. You need to come up here. There you go. We're going to put number 2 right here coming out of the bow. And if you like this look, you could increase to 2 bushes of this and really use more of it. But I'm trying to keep it pretty simple. There you go. All right. Then I'm going to use one kind of into the bow, a little bit coming down, so it doesn't need to be quite as long. I took a couple of inches off the stem. And I'll tuck this one in here. And notice I changed direction, so we're coming down. I love that. Yeah, I like when we get that little bit of movement in. All right, now I'm going to come to the center, because then my last piece can be continuing with this. So I need to come zigzag, all right, to the center. Cut it a little bit shorter. And then after this, we're just going to do a little bit of detail work up on Bunny. After I get these in. Now that I felt go to the back, so I'm going to re-angle it. We don't want it shooting out the back. That's like rookie. As we get better, we want to re-angle it and make sure we're coming in. If it goes in real easy, you know it went. It's either not going to hold or it went to the back. You want it to go into the grapevine every time. All right, and this one's going to come down right here. Here comes one more piece. Now this one I'm going to just finish up kind of coming over the bunny. And then I have enough to put one more at the top. Okay? And then we're going to do that detail work with some of these little fern pieces that I have left. I don't like there to ever be pieces left over unless it's enough or I'm mass producing something. If there's a few pieces left over, we're going to use them on the piece, because what ends up happening is you just get a pile of stuff you never use. You have good intentions of using it, but it just doesn't get used. So I generally am trying to use up the pieces. Now see how this ribbon just looks like it's flowing through the garden. I love that look. Love, love, love it. All right, that last piece of fishtail, I had enough. I'm going to use one more up here, kind of coming over, but more to the foreground. Ah, right there. Okay, perfect. Now I'm going to do a little detail work in by the head and by the bow. And I don't have a whole lot left. But I've got 2 bigger pieces of fern and a little bit of berry. So I am going to steal like a little bit of this fern, I think right here. I'm going to take a little piece of this off of that piece. So I stole a little piece there. Steal a little piece down here. Don't be afraid to steal pieces from stuff that's not really going to show. Okay. Now I'm going to take this and we're going to put it in by the head. Right here, because I want to soften this little line up here where these flowers are coming from. I'm just put a little greenery up here. It's kind of underneath. You can't see it a whole lot probably from the camera, but it's kind of coming right here. There we go. A little bit there. And then I was thinking about taking a little bit of this fern and backfilling in the background right here and here on the inside with that. Just to kind of fill out the shape in the middle. I'll go right here. Yeah. So this one I'm going to use in the opposite spot right here. Kind of right here. I'm going to tuck that in right coming down here by the little head. Perfect. Y'all, this is turning out adorable. I've got one little curly piece left. Now we've got a curly here. I've got a curly here. And here. So I think right up here would be a natural opening for it to go in. It has a nice long stem. So I'm going to put it up there. Okay. I hope today's video is going to help you start to kind of embrace the roller coaster ribbon and try it in some of your pieces. When you use it on a grapevine, just know that it is a little more tedious because you have to tie each piece in. But if you use it on a pine wreath, like a Christmas base, then it's a little faster to just twist it in with the pine tines. Goes a little quicker, but there she is. I think she turned out really beautiful.
Here's all the supplies you get in this puppy, and we're gonna make it adorable. Y'all, you're gonna get 2 full rolls of ribbon. You're going to get this great base. It's the cutest Easter egg door hanger. And then we've got coordinating ribbons to rock out some beautiful bows to go all together. Yep, when you get a little sparkle, and a little foliage, and of course some little yellow balls. We're talking beautiful, and I want to show you how to make it. So come on in, y'all. I'm Khalid with Khalees.com, and this is our latest kit. What I'm going to do right now is show you how to go ahead and prep your base. You are going to need a little bit of floral foam. That's not going to come in the kit, but you can pick that up at your local craft store. And these are basically floral foam I've cut into 2 small blocks. And you're going to put them opposite, and it's up to you. You can have them on the right and the left, or the left and the right. And I think I'm going to go the left and the right, just so this one can have its happy little Easter sign showing. And what I want you to do first is put a little Gorilla Glue down. I like that to help hold our glue, as well as hot glue. I've got my electric skillet loaded with hot glue right here, and we will be using it. I'm going to turn it down a little bit. I cranked it up. Do you ever do that? I cranked it up to get it, melted quickly, but don't do that because that's not smart. It could get too hot. I was cheating, so I'm going to put a little bit of that there, and then I'm going to go opposite over here. Just kind of right on the edge of our base. Then let me get our 2 little blocks, and these are like 3 by 3 little blocks of foam, and they're kind of thinner, not really thick. I'm going to dip it in, just kind of scrape it off a little. And this is how we're going to go ahead and mount our florals on this design. So I'm going to take this one and just push it right down here. Push it in. And then one more at the top. Right? Now, you might want to also have a little floral foam, and that's to catch the back side here, so later your hot glue back here won't show. And you can just put that on while it's hot. And down here, the same thing on that little bit of a back side. That way if somebody has like a glass door and they're gonna hang it, you're not gonna see like messy glue, you'll just see some nice little sweet foam on the back. Okay, so those are in place. And now the fun part starts. We're gonna put the florals together. When I'm teaching in design school, a lot of times we use greenery to do something called setting the perimeter. We're gonna do that same thing today. We're gonna use our greenery bush that comes in the kit right in the background. So if you would like a link to grab this kit and make this exact piece, we'll put that in the comments here or just ask. And I am just gonna make these a little shorter and then trim them down, my wire cutters, and we'll start to set a little bit of our perimeter with our greenery. And we don't need these really long, just trimming those all off. So I'm gonna start to put a little of this kind of going on either side of this foam, kind of spacing it out. We're going to put 2 pieces on to start with. And then we're going to make these just a little bit smaller once we get our first few pieces in. See how pretty that is? And we're able to frame out kind of the shape of the egg. Now what I want you to do is take your next piece and cut it in half. And we'll be able to have that kind of coming out the top. Right here, beautiful, and one on the other side. So that gets us started up here really nice. And we've got our 4 pieces in this piece, okay? Now let's come to the bottom. Down here at the bottom, we're gonna do kind of the same thing, but I'm just gonna have this, instead of going the same way, we're gonna have it kind of go up and down. So I'm gonna let this piece just shoot on down, right from the center of the foam, but kind of coming out. And then let's take one of these and cut it in half and kind of go on either side. So we're basically doing the same thing we did up here, just kind of changing our direction. Oh, nice, and right here. So we've got those 3 pieces in, we've got 4 up here, and we've basically set our perimeter with our greenery. So it's a great starting point, and we're ready to put the next layer in. So the next layer of this design is going to be this pink floral stem. It is great. It's got some really cute pink florals and a little bit of a purple pink. And with these, we don't need them super long, so we're just going to trim them off like this. Just take and tear them down. You can save that wire for another project. And then take and just cut these off. All these little messy pieces, we're just going to cut each one of these off. Now, I am going to divide each one of these into a couple of sections just by kind of separating them, just like this. All right? And then we'll kind of crisscross the wires that are left there and twist these leaves around. You really want the leaves facing forward if possible. Okay, get that floral head up, and we've got a nice little cluster there. Now we're going to put that in up top, and I'm just crisscrossing those if they come unwired a little bit or unwrapped. And we're going to push these in right here, kind of to the front of the foam. We're going to have a bow in there hiding all that goodies. So let's just have this little leaf pick go down here. That looks good. And then we can have this one go out to the other side. So I'm just going to cut this one too, and we'll, all those wires are loose because we cut it short, but don't worry, just twist it around. And we'll make our own little cluster. Don't need any extra tools. Now give that a little twirl in the glue pot, and we'll have this one come out to this side. We got a good start. We got a little bit of the bright pink, a little bit more of the purpley pink. On either side, we still have room for our bow in there. Probably work these a little more up and down. Now let's come to the bottom. We'll take another one of these sprays. We'll do that same thing and just separate it out. I'm going to bring these flowers out. We'll have this kind of work on either side here. Just have fun with these. Even if you want to tear them all the way down, that's fine too. Into their own little wires, because we're going into foam here. So I'll put a little leaves going in between here. That looks great.
Let's see what else. I've got a little fern here. I'll trim that off. Let's put it on the other side. Yeah, that's good. That adds a nice little texture there. Now here come some of my little flowers. Let's put one of those where it's going to trail right out the middle of the bow and kind of come down here. Just like that. Okay? So I've got a kind of a start with the pink florals in there. And I am going to get the bows in next. So we make the bows on a different video. So we'll link that here if you don't know how to make your own bows. And you'll have that access. It'll also be on the supply list when you buy the kit so you can get to the bows. But we've got two different bows going. We made one that's a long tail bow, and that'll go down here at the bottom and really work really cute down here. So let's put it in first. And we put U-pins on these bows. And so I can just put some glue on that and press this into the foam. And what you want to do is, if you want yours to look like mine, you want to go on the top of the foam and push this in so this bow sits up really pretty like that. Now work some of these tails behind the greenery. Okay, here and here, and then leave these kind of up front. And I like to curl those. Move that flower to the middle. Now we still have greenery and foliage we're going to add all in here, but you can see what an impact the bows make. Man, they're good. So now let's put the top bow in. This one we made a little bit different. We made it a funky bow where it has 3 loops and then 2 loops and a little tail in the center. And this time I put this one kind of sideways. So once the bows are in, we are able to go to town with these pink florals and our yellow balls. I'm really excited about them. Okay, so let's have this kind of go sideways. And this time I'm going into the front of the foam. Now work your florals in here. There's our first one. Our other one's over here. So pull it in. Look how cute this is. Our little happy Easter sign is still showing. Looking great. Now, we're not done. This is where we are right now. But we're going to take it to the next level. Isn't this cute? I love this. All right. Grab your yellow balls. We're going to work these in next on this spray. And what we want to do is just kind of pull these all apart into their little clusters. And we want to have these kind of popping out of the top especially. So I've got a little bit of pink flowers left still too, and these are my next big fun item. So we can't use these as long as they are. They're a little bit too long, but I'm going to take and just cut them on the stem into different sections. Like here can be a double, and then here can be a single, all right? So let's just start up at the top. And I think it'll be really cute just to kind of have it come out of the bow up here. Look how fun this is going to be. This is going to be fun. This is so adorable. This is so fun to make, y'all. And I love this color combo. That yellow is just popping with the pink. Here comes this one. We'll have it kind of come down under here. Just put that right under the bow. And now we've got our balls on the right side. Let's put some balls on the left side. All right? So grab a little bit more. Here we go. I'll do the exact same trim up job. This one a little bit shorter. And so if we did it on the right, we're going to do it on the left. We'll tuck this behind. This is just tickling me so much. It's so cute. I love putting these balls and things. They just always they just dance. And when the wind blows, these things dance on your door. And they move, and they're just so cute. All right, we got a couple more that we're going to use down here. And right now, if you notice at the bottom of our design, let me bring it up a little bit. See if you can see it. So at the bottom of our design, nothing's coming up, it's just going down. And that's kind of important to this look of this design and the direction we have things going.
So in design school, we're always learning that. We're learning how spacing, direction, depth, all that makes a huge difference. So we're going to do some of that today too. Even though this is a simple door hanger, we can take a little more time to put these pieces in to kind of create those same types of lines. So I'm going to take, I got some glue strings on here. Get out of here, glue. And we're going to start with our first set of the balls just kind of going straight down, all right? Going right where we had the other, oh, I stuck that right into my hand. Thank goodness it's not that hot. Right where we had that pink flower. So these will kind of come out. And I am going to, he's flopping around because he's on top of my other hanger up there. He's not going to flop on your door when you make them. Those are going to come down there. And then I'm just going to do a little bit on each side with these other pieces here. So let me get this paper off. Sometimes when you tear it, you'll have a little paper. It's no big deal, just pull that off. And we're going to go a little bit on the right, a little bit on the left. Yeah, oh my gosh, I love it. Trim this one. Then our final step is going to be to grab our leftover greenery and kind of work that down here at the bottom. And then a little bit of pink up there at the top, I think would be cute, of this bottom bow right here. So let's take these and make them a little smaller. So one nice thing about our exclusive fishtail fern is we can take and divide it into smaller sections. We're going to have one little piece popping up first. So not a lot coming up, just a little touch. And now we'll have more coming down. Right here in the middle I need some. Yep, pretty. And then I need a little bit up here at the top, kind of underneath the bow. I need a little pop of this. So I'm going to divide it into some smaller pieces. Yeah, look at that. I love it. And then on the right, bring that ribbon out of there. Perfect. So we're done with greenery. We're done with our yellow balls. Look. It's so cute. I mean, she is ready. Now, I'm going to pop back in here and we're going to work with our pink flowers that are remaining. And there's not a whole lot, but we're going to use these all individually. So when I pull them off there, they all have a nice little wire that can go into this foam, no problem. And you want to use these like the little delicate details. We're going to pop these in between each little layer here, okay? So I'm going to pop this one in here. And let's go with a couple above. Just a little touch kind of popping up. Not a whole lot going up, just a little. And one more of the nice flowers, just kind of right in the center. Let's put a little bit at the top. I've got some really good like ivy looking leaf here. So we can use this maybe up at the top up there. That would be pretty, kind of going the same direction as that yellow ball. And it's got one pink flower on it, so I'll use that up there. It's right here in the middle. And that can shoot up, and I'll bring that little ivy in there. It's really cute. And then I'm going to use this little cluster coming out of the bottom of the top bow. You can see how much fun you can have with this. A little bit more greenery, and I think I'll use that right at the top here too. Cut it down short. Let me push this a little.
No, you cannot push. That one's wired. Okay. Have the best week ever. You know, this week, Thursday, it's the Floral Bunny Workshop coming up on Thursday. So you don't want to miss it. We'll have a link here in just a second for you to sign up. But don't forget, you can join us in there. If you are already a member of Design School, remember there's a link for you to join at no additional charge in our group. But everyone else, come and join us. It's a great way to come have fun with our whole community, really. So let me put your comments up and we'll get rocking and rolling. There we are. Here we are. Good. I see you guys. Yay! So earlier today, what we did is I'm fixing cameras everywhere, guys. I asked our followers which color they wanted to pull from this bush, and we had a lot of pinks and purples. So then by the time we started kind of walking around the warehouse and designing our design, we ended up going with using all the colors that were in the bush. So we're going to mix in a little bit of everything. Hey, Bonnie, good to see you. So this is our inspiration bush. So you know this is my style. If you've been hanging around here any length of time, you know that wildflower is definitely my style. Hi, Sue. Good to see you, too. Y'all, thanks for spreading the love. You help us so much. If you don't know what spreading the love is, that means share. That's a thing over on Facebook. I don't know exactly what we do on TikTok, but I just appreciate you being here. And on YouTube, I appreciate you being here too. You guys, if you could just like our page, of course, subscribe, get the bell icon, do all the things. It really helps our business, and you're such a blessing to us. Hi there, Doris. Good to see you. You too. Hello, Michelle. Good to see you. Oh, yeah. Flower time. Yes, ma'am. So I'm just tearing this bush apart. I loved hand wrap bushes because they're just easy to pull apart. This is a giant one. You're going to get a lot of picks. I've got 4 already. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more. 5, 6. A lot of pieces of this one. I love that. So we'll be able to spread that all around our base. We're going to work on an 18-inch grapevine tonight. And y'all, if you're not on our text list, get on it. We're sending out a text right now to let everybody know we're live. Let me cut this one. Oh, I don't have to cut it. It came apart. This one, I think we can break that into 2 pieces. Hello, Kathy. All right, let's tear this one down. All right, so let's get going. Who's going to join us at the workshop on Thursday? Tell me, do tell me, because we're going to have so much fun. We always do. We're starting off in the morning with a party. That's the first thing. I mean, why not have coffee and a party? We all know I'll have my tea. Oh, Darla, you're good. At least you're showing up everywhere, Darla. That's all that matters. Kathy, did you watch us choose the flowers earlier? Fantastic. I think only thing I added after I got off with you guys, I added some yellow. So I'm trimming off the yucky ends because if they're yucky, you just make a mess going into the wreath. Oh, yay, Stacy's going to be there. Fantastic. Yay, Stacy. Yay, Sue, Bonnie, Heather are going to be at the workshop. Yay. It's going to be so much fun. I'm glad you're going to be there. You know, we have a blast. Okay, so here is a yellow. I added this one, I think off camera. But isn't this a pretty yellow? And it's got that wispy feel. So we're going to put that in there too. Hi, Tony. Yay, Darla's going to be there and Penny. You guys are awesome. All right, let's get rocking. I picked up this greenery because it's really bright green. We better put a hanger on this dude first. You're going to be there? Yay! Fantastic. Oh, man. Hey, Christina. Good to see you, too. And Christy and Catherine. Hi there, Tony. Rosemary's going to be at the workshop. Yay! Y'all, it's going to be a blast. If you've never been to one of our workshops, I make it a lot of fun, and hopefully you learn a lot. And I'll be right there chatting with you every second of the way. So if you have questions, you can ask. And we can develop your design right as we're working together. You can ask any questions you want. It makes it so nice and easy. Hey, Carol. Yay! Ruth Ann's going to be there. Nice. Margaret's going to be there. Yay. Wonderful. I'm telling you. All the cool kids are going to be there, y'all. All right, let's get some of this in. Now, I'm going to decide. I think I picked out some of the bows we had done recently, and I thought this pink one might be pretty cute to put in there, so we may add that at the end. We'll see. We may go no bow. You know how I can get sometimes, and I'm like, no bow. Let me get this angled up good for everybody. See if you guys can all see it. Yay, you can see it good. Fantastic. Let's rock and roll. Get started. So I'm going to put a little greenery around. Oh, we got to put the hanger on. I keep saying that and don't do it. I am so bad about hanger, and I have to put it in. Hi, Brenda. Aw. Stacy, what times the workshops are? I believe the first video is at 10. Check in the workshop Facebook group because it's got the real schedule. I look at that right before. I've got everything planned out, but I'm not sure of the exact times. Nicole and I planned it all out, and I'm like, I don't know how long ago that was already. Oh, you sent me some roses? Thank you so much. Oh, I love that they send me flowers. I mean, stars are cool too, but you know, flowers is a little more on brand for our business, right? Hi, Joan. You love that bow? I know, that bow's a good one. Yay, Patricia, great. I hope you can come hang out with us live. If you can't be there live, you know, it's no problem. Everything's available. You're even entered into all the contests if you're not there live. But it is fun to be there live so I can chill with you. This bunny, Jessica, is a purpley blue. She's kind of like a purple blue. She's really pretty. She's really pretty. Yay! Lisa, I'm glad you're a blue merino. I'm so glad you are. All right, it's on. Can everybody see? Everybody can see good. I know, we're going to have so much fun. Okay, it is 10 a.m. Central. Hello over from Australia. Good to see you. Okay, we're going to pop in that greenery we cut up first. Got a lot of cameras going, a lot of things happen, a lot of comments, but I'm here. I'm a talker. I like to, used to, before my page went down with Facebook, I would have like hundreds of comments coming in fast, when we have a lot of people watching, and I like, it was challenging for me, and I loved it. Hi, Linda. Good to see you too. So now you guys are doing that again. You're challenging me. Can I catch all the comments? Of course not, but I'm going to try. All right, let's get in here. Let's get this wildflower wreath popping. I'm going to put these in. This is that really bright green. We used this for the first time last year on a watermelon wreath we did, and I loved it because it's like a fuchsia, really bright. Is fuchsia green, I think? Is that pink? No, it's pink. Y'all know. The term for bright green. It's blue. It's blue purple. All right, let's do this a little bit different. Let's come up a little here. Let's get wild. I'm going to put a little Spanish moss. Oh, hey, I did get confirmation the Spanish moss is on the way. So I know a lot of y'all have been asking. It's coming. So it really is coming now. It's not the, yay, it's coming. No, it's not. It's really going to be here. Lime green. Yeah. Isn't there a term for green that's like this bright, shocking green? Lime does a good description. Hello, Molo. Hello, Molo. Good to see you. Was it watermelon or pumpkin, Darla? That's wrong. That's wrong. Darla's giving me a hard time, right? Chartreuse, Kathy. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Chartreuse. Yeah. We gotta have the fancy color names, y'all. So I'm gonna get this spread around a little here. Get a lot of green popping. Try to. Without throwing it on the ground. I was telling Nicole the other day, y'all, Nicole's my assistant. She's the one answering all your questions, helping out so amazingly. That I've got to get more room in here for all the cameras. That's why I'm like backed into the corner trying to get it straight. But we'll get there. That means I've got to clean the bloom room. And y'all know, that is not the fun part, right? The fun part is making, not cleaning. But it'll have to be done at some point. Neon, close. Yeah, neon green. Lime green, Vicky? That works. That works. Hey, I wanted the big fancy words today. Why not? Anyway, it's really bright. It's like the bunny back here, really bright green. So I thought it would pop really good with all the other pieces we're putting on here. So let's get this in. I think I'll put this maybe right here. So I've got a kind of a great distribution on there of green. popping. You guys check it out. Okay, I've got it spread out. I just used one of those bushes. Kind of a little bit of greenery. We're not going to need a ton of greenery because we have picked out floral. Remember, this is our inspiration piece. We've picked out floral that is just totally every color. See how pretty? Gosh, this is so pretty. Right, Claudette? You get me in the corner. Dangerous. Okay, so we know our bow is pink, so we really want to be popping the pink, and we picked out these. They called these, what did they call these? Peach blossoms, and they're just really, really bright pink. So we're going to put those in next too. Ask Alexa to clean up. Great idea. Rhonda, the supply list for the Bunny Workshop is when you're in the Facebook group for the Bunny Workshop. It's up there in the units, and the password's there for you. If you cannot find it, we can tag you in that post. So just send an email to info@Khalees.com and we'll help you. Cleaning is no fun, I know. Right? Oh, is it translating to Spanish? Are you speaking Spanish? Hola, Stacy. Oh, man. So let's get some of these peach blossoms in here. I'm going to give them a little bend. I haven't not played with these. My first time playing with these. So let's get these in. I think I'm just going to use them full pieces. So let's pop a little above and below the bow. I wish we could ask Alexa to clean up. That would be nice. Jessica, yeah, you'll get a supply list for tonight. And we just finished the supply list from last night, too. So, yeah, you'll have all that for tonight. You will. Hey, lady, good to see you. Let's pop this in. Okay, I'm going to go up here. I'm going to kind of split between the bright green up here. I'm shooting it off pretty far, guys. Pretty far. I have a hanger on the wreath, but I'm currently not using it. So just watch if it starts to rotate on you. You hate to lose the center of your design halfway through the building of it. And you're like, okay. Oh my gosh. All your captions are in Spanish. Hilarious, Stacy. That's all right. Probably the language got switched somehow. Good luck. You know, this weekend I had to do a lot of Googling on how to do stuff. Mainly, you know what it is, and some of you might relate to this if you have kiddos or teenagers or grandkids. It was those little charges on your phone trying to figure out where they're going, what they're for, if my daughter's using them anymore. That was a lot of Googling. Hi, Georgie. Alexa does no cleaning for us, right, Linda? She does not. I mean, she's useful, but we could try Hey Google. See if that's coming through a little bit better. Hey, it depends what platform I'm on, what we're saying. You know, some places we're going to be all Alexa, some places we're going to be Hey Google. Yeah, you got to play the game. All right, so I've got those popping in really nice and bold. And pay attention. Like, look. They're kicking off there. Like, this is a party. Already, 2 colors. Pink and green. Now we're going to put it in the purple. Let's pop some purple. This is our sweet pea stem. I love this stem. Oh, I love it in every color. I think we have it in yellow. I don't know if we have any left in pink, but we have yellow for sure. We're going to use the purple in here. These stems are actually pretty good. You can use them for hangers too. They've got a good bend to them. So I like to hold on to those. Oh, Siri told you she doesn't get paid enough to clean. Oh my gosh, true, Siri. I don't blame her. Siri's like, you're gonna have to hire somebody else for that, Stacy. Nate needs to get in there and clean in. Nate's like, I've got homework. If you tell the kids they have to do cleaning, I don't know if y'all do that, as well said they have homework. Oh, I've got to do some homework, you know. There's one tag. Oh, there's 2 tags on here. Let me get these tags off. These are way at the top, so I have to be careful or I'll cut off the flower. Just a second. Don't you love it? Hey, Carolyn. Good to see you. Glad you're hanging out. I hope you got that shelf put back. Carolyn posted the other day that a shelf of flowers fell over, and I thought, oh, Lord. It's going to be so much to clean up. Hey, Tammy. Oh, bet it all on red, Tammy. Hello, Miss Reese Purpose. Good to see you over here. Okay, we're putting in the sweet pea now. Let's pop these in. And I'm trying to kind of evenly distribute out our purple so we get a nice spread of color. Basically, because this is going to be a whole collection of colors. I am going to end up loving this. I believe it. I'm going to believe it. Michelle, the kids get sleepy, right? Hey, Ramona. Yeah, if you say you got homework, it's like, oh, I'm asleep now. Gotta go to bed. It's my bedtime. Oh, sure. Sure it is. All right, let's put a little Spanish moss on here. If you're new, I'm putting Spanish moss on top of the glue. So I use that to kind of sandwich it in. I did do a TikTok about that today. So if you guys over here on TikTok didn't see it, you can see it up close of what I'm doing with that. I got to catch all the TikTok people up on the Blue Merino Speak. I've been on Facebook for a long, long time, but I get to get you all the lingo. Oh, right. There are so many dang Apple charges. You have no idea what they are. Yeah, you thought the grandkids got your number, Linda. I believe it. I believe it. Yeah. Well, you know, you say yes to this and yes to that, and then you're like, okay, what is this at $7.99 for anymore? I don't even know. Okay, that's looking really pretty. Look how pretty that is. Okay, let's come in above with the purple too. So I'm just keeping a little bit above, a little bit below. Thank you. I'm glad you like it already. I think it is going to be really pretty. Hey, Stella. Jessica says, and they have to go to the bathroom. Yes, teenagers have to go to the bathroom when it's cleaning time and all of that. Y'all, my sister was the queen of that when we were growing up. And she would have to go for a while. Jan says, it's cleaning is so rewarding when it's done. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. It is. I mean, even at the warehouse, as new stuff's been coming in, we've been purging out older things. You know, we try to have new sale items monthly, so we have some new items that we discount. And it's nice to get the old out and the new in and straighten it up. It is rewarding. Absolutely. You guys, if you want to be on our text list, you're going to text to our phone number up in the description or go to textclee.com. Text us the word live and you'll get live alerts whenever we're live. Now, I don't know that our live alert has delivered yet. I haven't seen it pop up yet. If anybody got it, let me know. Sometimes there's stuff out of our control, but we try to let you know when we're live. Look how pretty. Look how pretty. Isn't that gorge? You guys over here, you see it starting to develop? Pink, purple, green. So pretty. Okay, we've got some more colors to bring in. Let's see. Excellent. Excellent. Okay. Hello, Nelson. Good to see you. Hey, Shelby. Glad you're here. Okay, of course, I've got a little purple, a little cream, and yellow left. These are very long, so I need to think about having them place out here towards the perimeter. These are gorgeous purple. And then these are those mini daisies, and I'm addicted to these. These were also in the subscription box. I don't know if they were yellow or white, but you got the text alert? Fantastic, because I wasn't sure if it was working. I never saw it come through on my phone yet. So I was like, is it working tonight? Good. Thanks for letting me know. Just right for Easter? It would be. It would be totally. I'm thinking, I've been trying to create some pieces that are Easter kind of colors, but people can leave them up. You know, they don't necessarily have a bunny on them. Now, a cross could stay up all the time, but, you know, Easter bunny would be a little more, you know, Easter specific as far as the rabbit goes. But I think it's a good idea to think about that if you're making your wreaths to sell in a shop or craft shows. I'm just pushing these up, guys. I like to get those, just like last night, if you watched when I made the purple wreath, I like to get these leaves up to kind of cuddle my blooms. Okay, good. You guys, I'm so glad the text alert's working. If you guys over here on TikTok are not on the alert yet, you might want to get on there. Just textclee.com, and it's a text messaging service, so I own it, so I don't have to worry about if anything disappears. I can tell you where I'm at. We had that happen before a few years ago. So you guys were like, where's Kalei? Ah! And I was like, I don't know what happened. Thanks, Vicky. Ronnie, you got it late? Yeah, that's what I'm guessing. I'm guessing what's going on with mine. All right, let's get some pops of white in here. And I'm going to really cluster these up. Remember, we're thinking wildflower. We're thinking wispy. So let's get a little pop of these in here. Oh, I'm glad you like it. Okay. Let's put this one in. Okay, how about a little bit of white? Maybe right in here. I'm gonna bring that in. I like these pop in like this is a little. We're gonna do our little garden here. Oh Lord, what is this? Like, you ever find one of these little things, guys, and you're like, it's a rubber foot off of something, and you don't know what it goes to. I wonder if it's from my glue pot. I don't know. I don't think so. Well, we'll be wobbling along on something. Oh my gosh. Y'all, if you like this project, you would love to come join us at our Floral Bunny workshop this week, where we are going to make wreaths with bunnies. And we're working with all these foam bunnies that are exclusive to our website. We have several different colors. And we're going to be jazzing them up, not only to make that wreath right over there. We're going to teach you how to make that step by step. And not just like today where I'm making it. I'm going to teach you the floral design principles that I'm using every time I put something in a wreath, so you can start to hear Kali in your head every time you design. And it will help you get better organically at what you're doing. So you will know what to do by practicing without me even having to show you. But that's what we're going to be doing on Thursday this week. So I don't want you to miss it. Do I have any more white? Yeah, my glue pot is right here. I was worried that it was wobbling around, but it seems okay. It seems okay. All right, let's put these in next. Oh. This one I'm going to put up a little bit higher. Who thinks they're going to be a winner in the new workshop? Who thinks they're going to be one of the first people to, or who's competitive and wants to win? I know we've got a lot of those. A lot of those lovely competitive folks in our group. I saw them signing up. We'll see if any of them are going to be there. It's so funny. They're so cute. Oh, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so we've got little pockets of white hopping in there. That looks really cool. I love that. Right, you forget where that foot is, Claudette, don't you? I understand. All right, now let's come in here. This is our main bush that we started with. So I want to get this placed in, and then we're going to pop in a little bit of more of that yellow. Miss Grace is, Jessica is, and Stella says she hopes so. Me. You guys are great. Y'all are great. Well, you know, we're going to spread around as much love as we can to all of y'all. That's one of the things I love to do. I love to give back to those who support me and treat you extra special. Yay, Sandra! We're going to have fun. Okay, I'm going to come into the top now, and we're going to keep placing these in. Now remember, if you can see the glue, this is real important that you catch it now and cover it. I don't not like glue strings showing. I don't like glue. You can see the shininess of the glue, so you got to make sure you've got it covered. So I'm going to pop this one in here. This one's got a little bit of white. Let me go with a little less white up there. Oh, here's a good purple one. Mainly because I've got a big piece of white here. Let's bring a little bit different color to the back. So I'm going to put this one in. Oh, you like the extra discount? Oh, Carol's like, dropping hints. Carol, I can't tell you everything. It's a secret. I like to keep you surprised. Hey, Carla! 2 in a row. Carla, I helped ship your big order today that went out. I helped pack it. Mm-hmm. Actually, I did the label. I can't take all the credit. I did the label this morning. And hopefully FedEx picked up properly. I didn't get any notifications that they didn't, so fingers crossed. We've had some new FedEx drivers, and the first day the poor driver got there, he said, "Do I take all of this?" And I'm like, "Yes, you take all of this." Thanks, Linda. Okay, let's see. I've got a little more white and purple and yellow. I'm just trying to watch. I'm filling in with this because I'm using this not only like a filler flower, but a greenery both. So I need to have a little bit of both. Let's put a little bit more white down here at the bottom. So if you haven't ever done that, when you take a bush apart, you really got to think about where you're putting it back in and what kind of clusters you're making with it. They're real easy just to tear apart, but you have to have a plan when you go back in. Right? Just, you're the boss. And you claim that you did it, right? Yay, Teresa! Jack says, do you find separating the moss ahead of time is best? It can be. Now, I will tell you, my sister always would do that. When Charlie was making wreaths with me to sell, she liked to have her little pieces of moss ready to go. Now, me, I just pull a little and just wad it and go. But she liked to have hers ready to go, so it's up to you, whatever you want to do. I just pull them here. Now, it looks awkward because I have to stand off to the side, but if I was just standing here in front, that all would be happening with my left hand, right hand, and I'll try to keep all the mess in my bucket. So there's my moss bucket, and I just keep it under my wreath stand. That just works the best for me, but Charlie always made her balls first, so that may be what you want to do. It's whatever floats your boat. Do I have any more of those? Oh, I've got two more right here. I tell you, I'm in the corner. I got to get out of the corner over here. Aw, thanks, Carol. You're so sweet. I'm sure you will. Monica, it'll be coming soon. You guys, and what I did is I put a video up in the workshop for y'all talking about supplies, so go check that if you haven't seen it, okay? All right, let me separate this one. Gosh, this is pretty, guys. Let's bring this one kind of underneath. I like how we kind of went way off the base on this. I think that's gorgeous. And when you get a flower like this, this isn't a cherry blossom. It's a peach blossom. It looks like kind of like a cherry blossom. But when you get a flower like that, if you can utilize the depth of it, it's a winner. It's totally a winner. Yeah, you could sign up for the workshop just right below. We don't have links over here on TikTok, so if you want to sign up over here, it's floralbunnyworkshop.com. And it's happening this Thursday. It all has replays. You do have to be on Facebook for it, though, because it's done in a Facebook group, okay? Marcy in Design School, just go into the Design School, and it's under announcements for Design School members, but anyone can join the workshop. You don't have to be a Design School member to join. Anybody is welcome. It's a great way to see how our class works and kind of the fun things we do all year long in our design school. Okay. All right. I want to show you how woodsy it's looking. Look here, guys. Filling in. Look how pretty. Ah, it's so pretty. Love that. Check it out over here. Look. Oh my gosh, y'all. Woo, you're just getting into more florals. Fantastic. Come hang with us anytime. Of course, here. Our design school opens up twice a year, and we have workshops different times throughout the year, but they're a good way to come in and get a kind of a taste of it. All right. Now let's see if we still like our bow. This is a bow we made a few Wednesdays ago, or last Wednesday I was out of town, so the Wednesday before. So there's the bow we're thinking about putting on. So I think I'm cool with it. I still like it. Let's go ahead and put this on, and then we're going to decide how much more florals. So when you see an item that's protected on our website, it means it's being either saved for our workshop or it's being saved for our design school students. So with supplies being so limited, we had to protect our supplies for our workshop and our supplies for our design school members. So we had to do that with our 60919, and we also had to do that with our bunnies for this workshop and the supplies. So if you see something protected, it's just because it's for our members in our community who are design school members. Yes. Oh, you love it? I think it's going to be pretty. Now, we're not done. We're just getting the bow in. And then we've got to work in around this bow. It's real important that your bow looks cohesive with your design and you're able to mingle it in. It's a big deal to me to break the planes of things. It's a huge deal to me. So you're going to see me do that a lot. That's just the way I prefer to design. And I'm going to teach my strengths because these are things I've sold thousands of and sold for many years. I've been doing this for 25 years. And I did craft shows for a living for 17 years all over the country, selling floral wreaths and other products. And so that's just what I love to do. Look how pretty that is in there. Ooh, it's popping that pink. Popping that pink. Oh, this is when we added that cool check. Or it's Harlequin. Mmm, yummy. Betty, do we have some bunnies? Yeah, we still have some bunnies in stock. Nicole is going to do a post. I don't know if she's done it yet with in the workshop to show you exactly what's left bunny-wise. So you can go pick out. There's still several colors left. Yeah, so the workshop is all virtual. I'm sorry, it's all online. You don't have to go anywhere. Yeah, it's delivered to you via a Facebook group. Great question. Yes, it's all online. You come to it virtually. You can watch the replays, join us live. You get recorded content as well as live content in the workshop. It's all delivered in a Facebook group. So if you're here on Facebook, it's real easy. You'll just ask to join the group once you've signed up and we'll get you approved. And it all starts on Thursday. So it's a lot of fun. Yeah, so if a lot of items are sold out for the workshop, you don't have to worry because I'm going to cover the main project using some other supplies. So you will have a recorded version of the main project and you'll have an alternative version of the main project. One of the things you're going to learn in the workshop is how to substitute different colors into our recipe and different textures. So every time I'm in a workshop, I'm making sure you're learning some type of floral skill that you can take back to your design journey and implement it into whether you have a business or you just make things for yourself or you just want to get better at making florals. Maybe you've done a lot of mesh wreaths and you're ready to go into the floral portion of it and you want to know, hey, how do I start this? How do I do this? That's the kind of stuff you're going to learn in our workshop. And that's also how I teach in design school. It's literally step by step. So no matter if you're a beginner or an expert, you can go to the part that you need the most help with. Okay, I'm going to lay the yellows out here. I do have 3 of these purple pink alliums. I don't know if we'll use them. We'll see. Yeah, I know we still have several colors available of the bunnies. I think we're sold out of 2 colors or something like that. So there's still a lot. And we're going to be playing with the big ones and the little ones. So there's going to be a lot of fun. A lot of fun. And plus we got all these fun flowers we're going to be playing with. So you're going to come out of there with several ideas to implement for your next project. Okay, I'm going to put a little yellow in here, just a little pop coming in there, and then I'm a little bit higher piece at the top. I love that in there. Thank you. I'm glad you're liking it. Let's put these in. I like that these are so long. Sometimes florals do not come as long as I want them, and I love the length on these. Oh, yes. Gorge. How about one more out the front over to that side? And these have all those little leaves. Thanks, Kim. I think it's turning out really great. Now, wildflower wreaths, I had a viral wildflower wreath a few years ago on our Etsy store. And it was funny. I was presenting at Wreath Makers Live how to mass produce this products. And it was funny. I actually had a viral wreath, so it was perfect. While we were doing content, we had something go viral, so we had to really had to mass produce a lot of it. Debbie, you think the alliums are too big for the wildflowers? Yeah, I don't know if we'll put them in or not. We'll play with them. I like that they're like a compact color. We can see if we still want them or not once we get to this part at the end. We may want them, or we may just go with what we got. Because I like that this beautiful bow is kind of the star of the show right now. And sometimes, and we've talked about this in design school a little bit about, hey, how do I know you know, who's the star of the show? Is it the florals or is it the bow? And, you know, sometimes it's both. Sometimes it's one or the other. So you gotta play the game. You do. All right, I've got one little piece of greenery left here. I'm going to use, this is from our original bush, and I'm going to use that right up here by the white flowers at the top. Kind of spread these. This is such a cute spray. We're making this one, Karen, on the 18-inch. You could scale this down and do it a 14-inch grapevine. She's asking about the size of the grapevine, guys. This is an 18. I've been on an 18 kick lately. I go back and forth. You never know what Clay's going to be doing. Okay, I need a little yellow coming down. I'm going to find my longest piece. Let's put this one popping out the bottom. So guys, we're going to be texting out the text list. Jump on, the supply list. Jump on our text list if you're not there already. The link is at the top of this post. If you're watching on TikTok or YouTube, you're going to want to go to textclee.com to sign up. Hey, Debbie, thank you. I just want something different, you know. Got to change it up sometimes. Okay, this little yellow is a little bit long here. I'm just going to take and separate this piece into two smaller ones. Oh, yay, Sandra. I'm glad you guys are liking it. Let's put this in behind these little wildflowers. You've got to do a little bit of detail around the bow because it seems to really show up right in this area because it's kind of a focal point, you know. Ooh, dang, y'all, it's pretty. Love it. Let me put a little more yellow up here. I'm just looking for my holes, if I've got any holes right in there. I think would be a good spot for that. I love that. Hey, Tamala. Hey, Linda. Good to see you over here. You guys are so sweet. Linda checking in on TikTok. Thank you. Thanks, Kathy. All right, let's come in up above. Oh, I'm just kind of gonna put this right up in here, a little bit higher. Uh-oh, don't fall off. I don't have it on the hanger right now. There we go. Okay, I think it's pretty darn good. And I think we could put the allium in, but I think they're going to take it a little more purpley than I want because I really want the pink to stand out. So I think we did it. What do you guys think? Look at what we made! Oh my gosh, if you enjoyed floral fun like this and you want to come participate in more, you guys, we are going to be having our workshop on Thursday. So sign up for it today so you can get in there. The sooner, the better. The more fun you can start having and the better access you have to the buddies that are available only to people in the workshop. Come and join us. The link is in the comments here, right below where you can sign up. For everyone else, go to floralbunnyworkshop.com and it will take you to the sign up page. And we're going to have so much fun on Thursday starting at 10 a.m. Don't forget the replays are available. If you can't join us live, you know, they're available for you to come watch anytime. All right, I had fun creating with you. We'll text out the supply list for this one and the other project from last night here shortly, okay? You guys have a great night and I'll see you soon.